Okay, so here we are again. Unfortunately, minus Amaros this week, but we will continue the story where we left off. So, last time, our intrepid group, who I don't think you've currently got a name for your group at the moment. Perhaps that's something we will have to revise when you get back to a safer environment. But you continued your way through the woods in this Fey realm on the search for a dog, a pet dog that had gone missing, that had run away after being kicked by one of the royal guard. Now, does anyone remember the name of this dog?
Giggles.
Yes, yes, there we go. Giggles. And Giggles had run off in a direction into the woods that you have been following. And so far, although you went a little bit off the path a couple of times, you managed to eventually get here. And where are you now? You are within a very thick, dense section of, it seems to be perhaps living thorns and briar. It definitely seems to twitch and move in an unusual way that regular briar doesn't. It's also extremely dense and thick in the sense that the vines are way bigger than a normal briar patch would be. Some of it almost maybe as thick as a torso in places. So not something that's going to be easy to pass through by pushing through perhaps, or cutting through even. Very, very, very difficult it would be. However, you did find an entrance in this wall of briar that you came across, and sticking outside the from what seemed to be a very small sort of entrance was one side of a deer. And when you approached it, I believe Tisvan, as he was trying to move the body out of the way so that you could maybe try and get into this to follow the path of the route that Giggles may have taken, was set upon by some sort of insects, large insects that had inhabited the body and didn't like being disrupted from their feast. The party were quick to engage, but these things were very fast. They flew around, they buzzed, they stung, and it did take a few rounds before we managed to put them out of their misery. But you did so eventually, and getting on all fours, were able to crawl through and gain entrance to this tunnel that led into a sort of a warren of sorts. Definitely pathways going off in different directions, for which you took the eastern route, going through this pathways. The air in here is very close. It's very humid, and for some maybe very claustrophobic, being in such a small area. Some areas of this are only about 5 foot wide getting through, and with razor sharp thorns around you, movement has become quite sort of slow as you were progressing. As you rounded a bend in this area, your barbarian managed to find see in the distance a ring of stones that turned out to be a sort of fire pit of a kind, but it was cold, or had the barest warmth. Obviously had burnt out a little while ago, and in fact the air was a little bit smoky still. You could smell sort of burnt ashes in the air. And while Bula was looking at this, with Amaros in tow, there was a shout from down the corridor, and a small fellow with iron boots and a red cap, carrying several logs of wood, came around the corner and was immediately adverse to you touching any of his things, and immediately tried to attack Bula with a very wicked-looking sickle. Bula went to her favoured way of attacking, which is to grab whatever is coming towards you and squeeze it as hard as possible in some sort of vice-like or bear grip. Unfortunately, this allowed the small man to wield his sickle at very, very close range and slash and doing quite a bit of damage, to the point that eventually Bula did unfortunately go unconscious. The rest of the party coming in and defending their friend were able to eventually take down this creature. Tisfin once again, with his weapon, wielding it expertly and taking a huge amount of life from this creature, and eventually this red cap fell dead on the floor. I think was it Moira that you stabilized? You told the dead, I think, to stabilize the wounded Bula, and eventually they were brought back to consciousness, and you have all decided to stop for a moment, rest, and recoup, deciding whether it was worth continuing this very dangerous mission to find a lost dog, or whether it might be better to head back and pursue it another day. Perhaps the dog will come home on its own. And then towards the end of the session, before this decision was made and before the short rest was completed, you heard a solitary bark somewhere off in the distance. And so we find ourselves now all sitting around this little campfire. Now, you did have some logs of wood dropped at your feet by this lovely little red cap who nearly killed your barbarian. So, did you choose to sit and take a short rest, or did you decide and make a fire maybe or something, or did you decide to head back and save your losses?
Well, I think we very much decided to rest for at least some time.
I think Kane's vote would be for a short rest in what seems to be a very dangerous place. Taking a nap here seems treacherous after what happened to the body after we'd slain the red cap.
And so do you all agree you're going to take a short rest?
Yes. I think that's best.
Okay.
Yes.
Perfect. And so during this short rest, I think we've already rolled for your dice for healing. And so everyone seems to be up to full, apart from Bula, who did suffer the most damage and is able to heal most of the way up, but he still has some injuries. But perhaps some time to rest and relax around this fire, even as much as you can relax in this cavern of briar and thorns, might allow you to just relax and to get your heads back where they need to be. Amoros seems to be one person, particularly in this group, who is showing signs of stress. Maybe it's because of like this fight you've just had. Perhaps it's the journey so far. But they have voiced their concern about being in this sort of enclosed area. Definitely not particularly happy to be in here, but still very much part of the group and willing to go along with whatever the party decides. So, did you decide to start a fire, a camp here for the short period, or are you just sitting and resting? What are you guys all up to?
Just speaking on behalf of Luna here, she's shouted through to me. We'd already chosen to use the logs that the creature had dropped to start a fire, but I think after the short rest, we kind of realised that the smoke didn't have, a lot of space to kind of billow away, and we what's the word? Smothered it. I think.
Yes.
Smothered it.
Garcia helped keep the fire quite low, but still there.
Yeah.
But I think that's as far as we got.
Yeah, I think
if
eat
we
some rations, enjoy the fire, and then head off, I think was what we were thinking.
Yeah, there's definitely not a lot of space. The briar is sort of surrounds you above you as well. So it's very dense and they're all tightly packed together. Some of the smoke will be able to slowly eke its way through. But there are tunnels heading back the way that you came to the west and also to the north as well. So it's not like you're going to use up all the oxygen in this area quickly. It definitely is smoky. It's not as pleasant as it would be if it was completely filled, but it is able to billow off down the tunnels that surround you. So there isn't any dire consequence with just a small fire. Perhaps if it was bigger, it would be a different situation. But with a small fire, you're not at any risk of asphyxiating at the moment.
I think if we're going to continue, we have to be really, really careful. I am exhausted. I don't know about anyone else. Bula, you're looking a little rough. No offense. I don't know how people are doing for keeping themselves going, but I think we should be very careful, very quiet. One step at a time. And hopefully we can find this dog and head back. Can't be far.
We heard barking last session, correct?
Yeah, you heard a single bark some distance off from your current location that sort of echoed down from the northern tunnel that you see before you, but definitely in the distance. But because it's so quiet, I suppose, in this dense sort of thorn, it sort of resonated down from that area. So it seemed like it was a fair way away, but because there wasn't any other sounds around you, you had no trouble sort of hearing it.
I'm willing to bet that that dog must be close if I'm hearing that barking, but unless it's another cruel and unusual creature like the ones we've encountered already.
I wouldn't put it past this place.
Should we forge ahead carefully? Maybe keep an eye out for anything that's wearing red?
That sounds like a plan. I'll take point.
Go ahead. I saw what you've done to that thing. You're welcome to go ahead.
Okay, so you're setting off, continuing down the north tunnel.
Yeah, I think let me double check with Luna. Luna would like to, or Bula rather, would like to proceed whilst still holding Amoros's hand, comforting him.
Okay. And so no longer in the lead, Tisfin taking lead, and Bula sort of coalescing with Amoros. So what's your marching order?
I imagine she may say yes or no here, but with her being so headstrong, I imagine right behind Tisman is probably Bula. Yep,
Probably.
she agrees.
Yeah.
And
So-
then I'll be behind those two.
Okay, so Tisfin followed by Bula and Amoros, then Kane.
Mm-hmm.
So who do we have?
Puts out the fire.
You put out the fire, okay. So does that mean you're at the back?
Yeah, I'll be at the
Okay, so Galatea at the back, just putting out the fire before the rest of you head off.
What did you say, Moira?
I'll be after Kane.
Cool.
Okay. So you, after your short rest, you pick yourselves up, heal what wounds that you have, and continue to head deeper into this darker area. I presume Amaros and Kane, probably you have your lights back up again.
Yeah, my shield will be glowing.
So probably Amaros's light, he has the 3 orbs of light that he usually conjures, so I would say he'd probably have them up for you, Tisfin, at the front, being able to lead and shine its way down the hallway so that you can see. And Kane, being sort of in the middle of the group, you're probably enough light there that there's enough for the people behind you to be able to see where they're going, at least, even if they can't see back behind them.
Great.
So you continue down the passageway, following a ominous path into the darkness as you go. Slowly, as you progress through, you notice, Tisvan, mainly you, because you're at the front there, that the walls around you of these thorns, where most of the time they appear to be stationary, as you'd expect, if you ever get close to a wall as you're trying to squeeze past a section, you do notice that the thorns or the briar itself just retract slightly. Just a slight movement. They either twist tighter together or maybe just sort of pull in or pull out a little bit. Just as you become closer, perhaps they can sense your body warmth, maybe, or just the presence of another creature around. But they just sort of writhe a little bit as you go past and then go stationary again.
Do they do that with all of us?
Yes. It's not any particular person. That they just, if anyone gets sort of like close to the wall, especially when you're going through a narrow space, if it's like between like sort of 5 foot, some of these places get down for like 2 or 3 feet. You might have to sort of turn sideways to get through. Those in armor might have to push past, maybe touching against some of the very sort of pointed thorns that come out. You definitely feel the or see their movement in these briars just sort of twist a little bit.
I'm at the back. I'm waiting for people to move forwards.
So, Tisvan, at the front, are you leading straight ahead, carrying on?
Yes, sir.
I think
Okay.
the problem is, I can go move Bula if you want. I can go.
That's fine. I can move Bula.
The 2 people behind Tisman aren't here.
Yeah, that's fine. Perfect. Okay. So, Tisvan, as you... well, in fact, yeah, we'll say Tisvan and Bula as well, seeing as that they're at the front. The others can possibly make this roll again in a minute. But Tisvan, as you round the corner, the tunnel sort of widens out a little bit here. It's getting to be about sort of 15 feet across. And as you continue along the ominous path northwards, you start to notice that there's some odd shrubs dotted along the floor. Give me a perception check.
This is fine.
9. So yeah, you see these shrubs that look like dotting the floor. They appear quite frail, and the leaves are all sort of withered. There are kind of a purplish with a sort of like blue kind of, not veins, but you know, the kind of, you can see the kind of structure of the leaf from underneath, just sort of partly glowing through, almost in areas where the leaves are almost transparent, but they seem to be devoid of the normal moisture that they would have, almost maybe being smothered perhaps by the large amounts of thorn and briar around them. But they seem to be becoming denser along the walls here, and in front of you, you just see them sort of all dotted across the floor. And as you progress through, if anybody else wants to make a perception check, they can as well.
I shall.
Of course you will. I'm gonna die.
12. 12? Oh, 12. Okay, 12 being the highest. All right. So, oh, there's someone else. Oh, 18 from Galatea at the back there. Okay. So, so Bula and, I don't know if Bula rolled. Oh, yes, Bula got it. So, Tisvan, Bula, as you're going through, I should roll for Amoros as well, actually.
Wait, what'd you do?
You alright?
Opera, what did you do? I have been kicked out of Foundry. Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh,
I'll just roll for Amoros while we're... Wait, 11. Okay, it didn't matter. Have you regained access? Have you opened up browser again?
Hold on.
As Moira's looking at these leaves, her vision suddenly goes blank.
Oh no.
she's just standing there like, they're beautiful.
So,
Must touch.
Nice touch.
well, what I'll say, while Moira is trying to reconnect, you all look around and you all sort of see these same plants, these leaves on the floor as you're sort of stepping through, and again they all seem to be quite withered, quite faded, and not doing so well, not happy plants in any sense of the word. And you all continue to walk through this area, and then Galatea, as you're coming up behind the rear, you've probably got the least amount of sight, having the light sort of further down the tunnel where you are. However, perhaps it's because of the light being in front of you to a point where the shadow is being cast back as Tisvan and Bulla continue walking forward. You suddenly notice that one of the plants to one side seems to be covered with this sort of black and this sort of purpley or plum coloured leaves. And you just see it suddenly move of its own accord, and it scuttles to one side in the passageway, bristling. And when this happens, it sort of runs off a little bit further down the tunnel. You see this movement running or shivering down the tunnel ahead of you.
Oh no. I'm gonna immediately, urgently whisper to everyone to stop. Don't touch the plants.
This one was
Moira
stopping.
already on the way towards the plants, but freezes.
Don't. It
So that-
moved.
So that this movement that you saw is sort of just a little bit, maybe 5-10 feet down the further down the hall. You see this like slight movement. Only Galatea, you notice this. But where you're standing currently, there are leaves and these plants that you see that seem to be all withered, like dotted around the floor and sort of clumped to the sides of the corridor as you go down. So Moira, where you are, there are a few leaves around you, or all of you.
I'm gonna slowly back up a little bit. Careful.
I
not
would
to
like
step
to
on
have
me.
a little smell.
Of the leaves?
Yes.
Sure. Okay. No worries.
Love
Yeah.
the
So
contrasting reactions.
do you pluck one of the leaves, or do you just sort of bend down to where they are?
Just kind of. Yes. Bend down a little bit. I like.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Give me a perception or investigation.
What are you doing?
Hold on just a minute. I need to double check something. Ah.
What does your mouse nose tell you?
Okay, that was just the proficiency. Never mind. What did you say? Investigation?
Perception or investigation, up to you.
I shall take perception.
Okay.
The rolls are not doing it for me today. It's a 10.
A 10. So yeah, so you lean down and you sort of just gently, like, maybe hold the leaf up to your nose as you sort of smell it. There isn't a particular overpowering smell from them. If there's anything, it's very, very faint, because this plant, as you hold it in your hand, is extremely withered. It's dry. It doesn't have the moisture that a normal leaf would have. And so almost to the point that when you gently touch it, it almost sort of the end of it crumbles. It's very, very dry. So I'd say with a 10, you don't really get any particularly strong scent, mainly because, it just seems to be on the verge of decay.
Not a lot of anything. Is it? My nose.
Okay,
My
but that
nose
one
is
moved. It
Oh,
moved.
God. My nose still has the smell of death.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that from our last session. Oh, Moira.
Hearing Galatea saying that something moved, Tisvan will immediately pull out his glaive and hold it at the ready.
Okay.
Oh, go again. Guns blazing then.
No, just. Oh.
Please, not another fight.
Can we,
What?
can we just say that we're just passing through? Maybe they'll listen.
Not going to attack, but better safe than sorry.
Hello? We're just going through. We're not gonna step on you.
So you say this down the tunnel, and almost like if you were talking within a stone tunnel, you notice that now that you're saying something out loud, that there is a bit of a sort of an echo to your voice as it goes, and you hear your voice sort of echo off down the tunnel ahead of you.
Oh, I don't like that.
There's a bristle to that same patch of leaves that you noticed before, but there is no response.
Okay. Please be careful when you move forwards. Don't step on them.
All right. Tisvan will keep moving forward, but listening to Galatea's advice, try to avoid to step on any other plants.
Okay, perfect. All right, so as you move, could you make me a dexterity? With acrobatics, isn't it? Dexterity acrobatics to see if you can maneuver your feet around carefully without treading on any of the leaves.
Here goes nothing.
Oh
Natural 1.
no!
Oh no.
Oh.
We're absolutely gonna die.
Could you place yourself where you are walking, please? Okey-dokey. So you draw your glaive out and you look in the direction, although you haven't seen this movement, only Galatea has. Galatea's obviously pointed you in that direction. So you look in that direction that she said she saw the movement, glaive out, and you slowly step forward in your size 11 steel toe cap boots that you are now wearing from the red cap, and immediately go and crunch into some leaves and a plant that were happened to be just to the side of where you were walking. You thought you'd put your foot over, but these larger shoes, you're not quite used to them yet, and so it sort of spilled over, and being metal, they just sort of crushed whatever was underneath your foot.
This one? What
Well
did you
done.
do?
I'm not used to these new boots yet. Sorry.
Take them off. Take them off.
As the crunching sound can be heard, diagonally opposite you, just in the direction that Galatea pointed, you see a bristle to some leaves, much more obvious this time. You all can see this now that you're looking in this direction, and at this sound, you see several of the leaves just sort of like lift, and when you look forward, I would say Amorous would probably help here and just have the light so that you could see these balls of light sort of in front. And as you see these leaves sort of lift, you immediately see a face looking back at you. You see it. The leaves give way to an underside of whatever this creature is. There are two tiny, beady little eyes. And as it lifts its head up, you see a sort of downturned mouth. You know how if you look at a stingray, like if you turn it up, it looks like a face with the little slots where it says it. It looks a bit like that. So you see this sort of what looks like a face on the underside, just raise slightly and look in your direction.
I apologize. I try to avoid stepping on anything, but I'm sorry.
The face doesn't seem to change or react to the words that you say, and just continues to look at you.
Tisvan is going to take a step back, closer to the rest of the group.
Can you make me a dexterity acrobatics move, please?
Where have all my good rolls gone?
As you step back off the plant again, trying to be as careful as you can, keeping eye contact with this face, knowing that you want to make sure that this thing does, if he moves, you've got your weapon ready. And unfortunately, because you're concentrating on that, as you step back, you hear another as you crush another plant with your metal boots. At this, the face that you see in front of you, there's no change to the face itself, but you see the plant-like creature slowly kind of raise itself from the ground, and you see there are many, many leaves along the back of this creature. It's much longer than you thought it was, and it looks as if it's like laying on its front. And as it sort of curls its body up slowly as it hears this thing, you see it has two arms and two legs that are kind of folded up underneath itself. And as it sort of raises up, the arms and legs come out, and you see these long arms and legs with even like long fingers ending in these even longer claws, with these, again, black and purple plum-like leaves growing all over its body. And you just see it sort of like, almost like, you know how a bird sort of, when it's cleaning itself, rustles itself down into the dirt? It's like rustling itself but out of the dirt, and it kind of pulls itself out of the earth, looking towards you, Tisvan.
And anyone else have any idea what this is?
Can I roll nature? I'm terrible at it, but I'm curious.
You certainly can, yes. You can roll me a nature check if you like. Is this to try and determine what this creature is?
What it is and what its weaknesses are.
Well, perhaps if you roll well enough, you might know what it is. Natural one.
I said I was bad. Kane looks at this thing and he's like, "That is the biggest sprig of aloe vera I have ever seen."
You look at this plant, but unfortunately, with your nature check, Tisvan, you may have mentioned like, "Oh, I see a face." When you look at it, Tisvan, Kane, you look at the plant and you're like trying to make out where this face is. You don't. It doesn't appear to you. It looks like a plant that obviously has arms or longer roots, but you can't see this face. It's a bit difficult. It's like someone looking at a bun and going, "It's the face of Jesus," and you go, "It's just a current. It's two currents. It's not quite the same thing." But yes, yeah. You don't get any knowledge from that, unfortunately. And the creature just continues to slowly pull its arms out and legs out of the earth where it was sort of semi-buried.
Maybe we should go. Maybe there's another way.
I think that is our best bet at the moment. Everyone, let's just slowly back away.
Perfect. Cool. And just for fun, Tisvan and Bula, can you give me and Kane, can you all give me dexterity acrobatic checks, just as you backed away that last time?
You don't have to sound so happy about it.
Oh dear, Tisvan.
Come on!
Why? I'm melting your boots into scrap.
No,
that would be a 4.
No boots for you ever again.
It's bare feet from now on.
What are we rolling?
It's dexterity acrobatics.
Ah.
Ten for Bula. Oh, nice. 14 for Kane. Okay, so yeah, Kane and Bula, you start backing away, back down, and Amros walks backwards as well. You start backing away down the tunnel. Tisford, I imagine you're still keeping eye-to-eye contact with this creature, just looking out, making sure it's not advancing and you're prepared for attack or anything like that. And as you back away again, your first step, you're careful, you kind of like feeling behind you a little bit with the boot. That feels safe. Move back your foot. You think, oh, good, this time I've got it right. And then you move your second foot and crush another plant to the left of you. Thankfully now, though, you are out of the patch that you were in and are able to continue walking back. But the creature seems to have pulled itself completely out of the ground now, and it just slowly matches the speed and follows you.
I think we should speed it up.
Time to
It does
go.
not look happy with me.
Okay, so you all start moving, just going at pace now.
I'm just gonna hold the little cantrip and no, I have a torch. I'm gonna light a torch as
Okay.
I'm going.
Do you have Tinder?
No, I don't need to.
To light, you lighting a torch though?
I have a cantrip.
Oh, you have a cantrip to light the torch.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. That's fine. Cool. So you all start making your way.
Assuming it works.
What is your cantrip you're using?
Prestidigitation.
Prestidigitation. Yes. Perfect. All right. So yes. So you use that. So you now have a little light. So let me give your character a light so you can see what you're doing down there. I can't remember what the radius is for that one.
I think it's 30 light and then 30 dim light. Might be wrong.
Okay, let's do light color here. Okay, there you go. I'm just giving you some light.
Nice.
Keep going for the moment. So, so you head back along the path that you had just taken a little bit quicker than you did previously. And as you head back down again, you see the remnants of the fire that you had lit previously. The rest of you slowly back away. Now, as you're going back, Tisfin, I presume you're kind of walking backwards a little bit, just keeping eyes with this creature.
Yep.
It continues to follow you up until the very sort of edge or the lip of where these plants started, and it holds its position there. It does not follow you past that point.
This one will continue to walk backwards until it gets out of sight.
Yeah. As soon as you come back to where you were having your short break, it will be out of sight.
Am I okay to come back too? I was eating.
Yeah, sure. I'll move you back. Okay. So, Galatea, in turn of events, you are now leading the party.
Great. That's great.
Do you come back to this point and then regroup, or are you going to continue leading the party in the opposite direction?
Well, I don't know what's going on, so can someone please tell me what's going on? Is it following? Is it still going?
It stopped at the end of the patch of plants.
Are you sure? Can you see it?
I kept looking until it went out of sight. It hasn't moved since it got up to the edge.
Okay, keep an eye on it. Right. There was a fork further down. Why did we pick this path again? Was there a reason, or was it random?
I believe that it was just a random choice.
Okay.
I think the other one was stinky, right?
Yeah, it smelled like death.
Oh. Okay.
Just rotten. My nose is still very. Yeah.
I don't know what to do. We can't move forwards. Unless the plant is not going to do anything, but how do we know it followed? It doesn't seem happy.
If I look back down the tunnel, do I still see it standing there?
Give me a perception check.
$17.
Yeah, it seems to be lower to the ground. Possibly it's dug its way back into the ground again, but you definitely see the sort of the mass of leaves that were on its back, still in the same position where it was before.
It seems to be laying back down again, from what I can see.
Oh, okay. Should we wait? I don't know what to do.
I think we should take a look at the other route, no matter the stench, just so we have some idea of what we have to deal with on both ways.
I think that's a really bad plan. If it smelled like death, that is not where we want to go.
Well, I mean, it could just be nothing living.
Have you ever been anywhere that smelled like death? That was a nice place to be.
No.
I don't mean to be the dick in the mud, but actually the morgue back at town was actually quite a calming place for me.
Yes, but we're in the wild, and anything that has died for a reason. I don't want to go to where that reason is. Do you?
Well, it's that or we piss off that overgrown weed over there.
Can we do something? Can we move around it? Can we move through the bramble?
With what we saw the bramble do to the thing, we killed before. I would not want to risk that.
If I hold the torch a little closer to the thorns, but not like up against it, do they move at all?
Yeah, so as you move the lit torch towards the briar, you do see it slowly sort of writhe, almost like a serpent sort of snake just sort of turning on itself when it tries to coil up. And it does definitely kind of pull away from you.
Okay.
As much as it can, with its denseness, it pulls as far away from the light as it can, but it can only move so far.
Okay. Can we try and scare it off? We've already stepped on it. Maybe flame will keep it away. Look at this. And I hold the torch up towards the bramble again, just still keeping a little distance. I don't want to set anything on fire yet.
And yeah, again, as you do, as you lean it into the briar itself, you see it writhe and move, and you see some of the tendrils of briar that's sort of sticking out at the bottom just sort of slowly move and almost not come towards you, but kind of splay out on the floor. The walls needing somewhere else to go in order to recoil away from the fire. And as you hold the fire there, you see that those, without having anywhere particularly to go, they sort of spill out onto the floor and almost start growing across the tunnel that you'd come down from the west. They slowly start to sort of spread out in that direction, claiming that space.
Right, I'm gonna.
So about here.
Cool. Can I hold it sort of down towards the ground?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, as soon as you hold it away, the briar settles back down.
Okay. I mean, where do we go? I think we should try. It didn't immediately attack. Maybe we can scare it. I don't want to destroy any more than we have to. I don't think we need to. Just if we're careful.
We can try again. Absolutely.
Okay.
Before we do that, though, Tisban will sit down, pull off the iron boots, pull on his regular boots, and stuff the iron boots as best as he can into his pack.
Okay, all right. Take a few minutes to doff them and then put your other ones back on again. It won't take too long.
Galatea is gonna smile sort of awkwardly at Tisban and give him a little nod.
See if it works better this time.
Perfect.
Let's hope so.
Okay, so after changing your shoes and deciding to continue back up the path, are you going in the same order?
I'm gonna go up immediately after Tisban, sort of worming my way in between people, trying not to touch them as I go along.
Okay, so Galatea right behind Tisvan. I assume then Bula and Amoros? And then Kane, will you be with Moira towards the back?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh,
Perfect.
do you have a torch?
I'll be behind Amaros.
You'll be behind Amoros. Okay, so Kane, you'll be at the rear now.
Yeah, that's fine. I can always replace my quarterstaff with a torch for now if people need to be holding them.
I think you got enough light because Amorous has got light, Galatea now has light, and you also have light on your shield. So I think you're covered now.
Okay, so it's more light than heat.
Well, I mean, the only person with heat is Galatea, because she's got a lit torch. Your ones are just light, I think.
They are, yeah. I'm just wondering if I should also put away the quarterstaff and hold a torch instead.
It's totally up to you.
Keep it for now.
Okay.
So, you continue down the path back to where the beginning of the shrubs that you saw previously are there. Give me another, because you've been out round the corner, give me perception checks again just to see if you notice where the creature previously was, or if you are unable to see where it was. Perfect, both on the same page, both 18s, lovely. So yeah, so as you come around the corner, you see, Tisfin, you see, and probably point this out, both you and Galatea at the front now with light source, you can easily see where this larger patch of the leaves is, and this creature, again, seems to be dormant at the moment, sort of laying face down on the floor.
Right. Just carefully, let's step around it. And I will try and navigate my way around.
Okay. So can you make me dexterity acrobatics then to try and move through without treading on any of the leaves?
Can't find acrobatics. Oh, there it is. I'm smart. I know alphabet. Oh.
9. Okay. So yeah. So you gingerly begin to step through, leading the way, showing Tisfin how it's done, how to be careful stepping, and through a combination probably of sort of the stress of leading the party or trying to get past, tiptoeing past this creature, but also holding this flame now in your hand as you walk along, looking at Tisfin, looking at where the creature is, trying to look at the floor. Unfortunately, you do tread on the edge of one of the plants, and you hear that sort of like crunching sound. Again, these leaves very, very withered, very sort of like dry, and so when you touch them, normally a leaf wouldn't make any sound, but because they're sort of brittle, you do make this crunchy noise. And as you put a foot down, and there's this crunchy noise, you do see the leaves bristle where this patch is.
Okay, let's go. We
Move.
can get past.
Okay, are you going to run?
I'm going to move as quickly as I can.
So run.
I don't want to run.
That's as quickly as you can go, unless you've got some other way of moving.
I'm going to run.
You're going to run? Okay, cool. So
Don't laugh.
let's say you can run. So here would be the point where you're out of the leaf area. So what's that? 5, 10, 15, 20 feet away. So you got that movement. So if you're going to run, that's the direction you're going to run. So we'll make a roll, just a roll, to see if you can run through and miss all these things. So this will be unfortunately at disadvantage because you're running.
Yay.
But if you want
to, after.
Okay. So if you can both please make me the same roll again, acrobatics, to be able to get through without treading on any of the leaves. Oh, very good.
Very not good. It's another one.
Oh dear. Okay, so Tisfin, you run across this field of leaves, jumping backwards and forwards, twirling, stepping as lightly as you can, and actually make it through this time without managing to stand on one plant. Expertly going through. Galatea, on the other hand, you try and go through as best you can, but again, the stress of keeping an eye on this creature, as well as looking where you're going, and waving this torch around as you're moving through, very visible to any creature that it seems to be susceptible to light in this darkened area. You unfortunately tread on maybe one or two of these plants as you go through, and this creature pulls itself up out of the ground again. Its leaves flick up. You see this face that you may not have seen previously because you were at the back, but this sort of, like a stingray sort of face underneath turning up. Lifeless eyes look at you, and this sort of downturned mouth, not showing any real expression or anything, but lifting its head and looking in your direction. Now, are the rest of you also running through too?
I guess, if I'm following the lead.
I will
You're
also
welcome.
be.
Okay, so Bula, you are next in. We're behind. So we'll say you all decide to run as a group. So we'll say that you're all moving to the same position. So you all get to like move and run before anything else happens. So if those of you running and following in suit, give me all your dexterity acrobatics to try and run through without trying to. Unless any of you want to walk instead or use some other method of movement, then let me know.
If we're running, is it at disadvantage?
It is, yes.
Cool, thank you.
What was that a Luna we heard?
Oh dear.
Yes.
Okay, so that's
Okay.
another 3. Okay, so you make it through, but unfortunately you do crush another couple of plants underfoot. Oh, very good, Moira. Your smaller, more nimble body is able to jump and twirl and move throughout this field of leaves effortlessly, jumping from spot to spot around this flora. And yes, you don't step on anything.
That was a natural 18, making it dirty 20.
Nice. Amaros. Let's see what Amaros has got here. Ooh, hang on. Acrobatics. Here we go. Oh, I should have done disadvantage. Well, that was a 4, so we're going to say that he failed anyway, even though I didn't roll it with disadvantage. So yeah, unfortunately, Amaros running through, unfortunately, just clips a couple of them as he's running through as well. And finally, Kane.
I'm wondering if I should walk.
That's totally up to you.
No,
I'll just-
great. I'll run. I'll run.
You're right. Okay.
I'm not,
All
I'm
right.
not gonna roll well.
Don't split the party.
Not bad. You got a
Nice.
10. So you make it through. Your armor clanks as you try and make it through, keeping up with the rest of the party, and through sheer willpower, you manage to move your body in such a way that you are able to make it through without treading on any of the leaves as well. And you get to the other side. However, the creature behind you does, after all these sort of crunching and squashing of plants and that, does pull itself out of the ground again, and you see the face turn up. Anyone who looking behind sees this lifeless face looking at you, and it does start moving towards you, this time at speed. So I'll say by the time you've gone there, it's about 5 feet away from you as you go round the bend, and it does seem to be scuttling almost like a crab towards you at speed now.
Okay, we just need to keep going.
Keep moving, keep moving.
Yeah, let's get out of here.
Okay, so Galatea and Tisvan, as you continue running down the pathway, just as you come to where the point is that you are now, you... Now, are you running, continuing to run? Are you walking fast? How are you moving at this current pace?
Tisvan would keep running.
You keep running? Okay, and Galatea?
I'm gonna move fast, but I'm gonna make sure that everyone is keeping up. Don't want to lose anyone.
Okay. I'm going to say Amaros is going to continue to run as well. Bula?
Yeah, I will still. I'm going to hold stead to the fact that I probably still have hold of his hand.
Right.
So if Amaros is running, I'm running.
Okay. All right. So you both run as well. Moira and Kane, are you continuing to run as well?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. All right. So you continue to run. The creature behind you again moves at speed. It gets to quite close to you at one point, but as you go round the bend, as you're continuing to run, you do outpace it. And again, if you look behind you, Kane, you do notice that it slows as it comes to the edge of where these leaves are, and you see that it seems to slow down. However, as you are running up this part of the tunnel, and Tisvan, I believe that you would probably be in the lead slightly before Galatea, just because she was looking behind, making sure everyone else was catching up when everyone else was running. So I would assume you're all like going at the same sort of pace. As you come round the corner and running around, looking over your shoulder, you don't notice or are caught unawares as you suddenly notice that the dirt floor before you starts to become this thick mud, and your feet begin to get sort of stuck down slightly as you brace yourself as you enter into this kind of muddy area. And as you look down at your feet, Tisvan, you start to see this sort of sticky, ashen covered mud hole before you. Very similar to a similar ashen mud hole that you'd seen previously.
Ah, shit.
Could you please make me a wisdom saving throw? Oh, I thought it looked like a 15 on my one, but then it flicked over the dice. That's a 7. Okay. As you run forward, you don't see in time the floor changes and this muddy ashen hole stands in front of you. You go forward, and as your foot gives way into the ground, you feel this mud sort of just draw your foot down, and you feel yourself quickly sinking as both your feet sort of plant into it. Can you roll me a d4, please? Ooh, okay. As you barrel into it, running all your weight in your armor, going hell for leather into this mudded area, your feet go in, and immediately you start sinking, and you start going down. Are you quick to respond? Put your arms out to try and brace yourself as you start sinking into this mud, but it's not quick enough, and you start sinking 3 feet into the muddy ashen pond in front of you. Can you mark down, and I'll tell you what this is in a bit, you have 1 level of gloom corruption.
Yep.
Okay. Galatea, as you are the other person who happens to be at the front and you're running along, even though you were looking behind yourself to check on the others, you were keeping pace with everyone else and being at the front, you also go straight forward into this mud. Can you please give me a wisdom saving throw as well? Okay.
14.
That's good. Okay. So, yes, you start to your feet go into the mud, but you catch yourself before you can go too far into it. Being lighter, not having like any heavy armor on you, you're able to sort of steady yourself, and you don't begin sinking. Your feet are in this thicker mud, but you don't start sinking immediately. I'll roll for Amaros, but Bula, can you roll for perception to make sure that you see this happening before you also blunder into this thing? Thank you. Eight. Okay, let me roll for... Where's Amoros's things? Here, right. Perception, right.
Can my swearing be in character, please, so people know that there's something going on?
Okay. Bahula and Amoros, 8 and a 5. Okay, so they barrel along, and because it's so abrupt, the way that you stop in front of them because of this mud, they don't have a chance to actually stop themselves from just basically running into you. And although they don't land into the mud itself, they bash into you, which pushes you slightly further out into the mud. So I'm going to have to ask Galatea and Tisfin to please roll another wisdom saving throw, please. Oh my god, guys, come on. Okay, Galatea,
Thank God.
Okay, Galatea, you get a 9. And Tisfin, you get a 16. Okay, so Tisfin, you feel Amoros run into you. However, he, again, isn't got heavy armor. He's not a particularly large guy. And so although you feel him like land on top of you, his weight doesn't manage to push you any further in. You're still 3 feet in, but his barging into you doesn't worsen the situation. So he falls back onto the ground beside you, but on the path rather than the mud. Galatea, Bula comes barreling down and unfortunately bumped into you. Bula, you fall to the side again, very much like Amoros. You're not in the mud, you're on the side. But unfortunately, Galatea, you get pushed in, and her weight just sort of landing onto your shoulders perhaps pushes you down into the mud. Could you please roll me a d4?
Had it prepared.
And you also sink 3 feet into the mud, and you begin to sink. So you're basically at a similar level now to Tisfin. Now, how tall are you, Galatea?
I was just checking. 5'7".
Okay, so you are like up to chest, I guess. Just below in this mud. And Tisfin, are you a bit taller than that?
Tisfin is 6'3".
Okay, so you're about halfway up to your belt line, into this ashen mud. Galatea, could you also mark down, please, that you also have 1 gloom corruption level?
Where do I?
Just write down a bit of paper, just somewhere where you know. I'm going to make a note of it as well, but I just want to make sure that we're keeping a track of it.
Cool.
No reason.
No reason.
Okay, and finally we have Moira and Kane. Could you please both give me perception checks to see if you see the 4 people in front of you crashing into each other?
Please, for the love of God.
Moira, yep, you see it.
I got 19.
Kane sees it all happen. Slow motion in front of you. Yeah,
Kane,
both the clerics.
Kane would, if I kind of don't want to do it without her permission, but also I'm scared because of the last sinking mud incident. I kind of want to grab Moira and just hold her up in my hands, like Lion King style, just so she doesn't go in.
Do it.
So you maybe you like throw your arm out, do you, or something, or grab onto her, seeing this coming up in front of you.
I mean, like I will let Kane just pick Moira up, Lion King style.
I'm happy to like forego me getting a roll, and I will go into the mud if it means that I get to like hoist Moira over it, so she's fine.
Okay, perfect. Give me
Moira's
one.
just gonna be a little. Hey, what happened?
Alright.
Kane doesn't even say anything. He's just kind of he's too focused on getting you over this mud. He thinks that he will still be able to breathe if he lands in it. At least you maybe not. He'd rather you get over.
Oh,
Okay.
sweet Jiminy.
All right. So two of your party members have fall and start sinking into the this ashen mud that you see before you. Amaros and Bula. Amaros isn't here, but Bula. You see, you crashed into Galatea. Unfortunately, you see her start sinking in the quicksand or the mud in front of you. What do you do, if anything?
I mean, it's Bula. She's gonna try and pull at least Galatea out, considering that's who she pushed in.
Yeah, you just sort of land on her. You just see like pushing her in further into the mud. Okay, Galatea, I'm going to assume that you want to try and get out of this. Yes.
Oh, yes, please.
You do. Perfect.
But also the player in me says, "Oh, just use me as a bridge."
You use me as a stepping stone to get to the other side.
Over me.
So now that you are in this and you're looking around, Tisman and Galatea, you probably are more conscious about the fact that you're sinking at the moment. But looking around the rest of the party, you see that this area, maybe 15 feet in front of you, is all covered with this mud. As the tunnel bends round, you can see that it stops and it goes back to normal soil. But the 15 feet immediately in front of you seems to be this sort of grey ashen mud. That very similar. Moira, you have been in a situation, and Bula, you have been in a similar situation trying to get the person out of the mud. But this is definitely the same sort of stuff. Unfortunately, running down the tunnel, you just didn't see it in time. So. We'll begin with you, Galatea. So, you will need to make me a strength check to be able to pull yourself out to stop yourself from sinking. Now, Bula, you want to give her advantage with this by helping?
I do indeed, yeah.
You do indeed. Perfect. That is the right thing to do. I'm telling you now. You've been in this situation before with Moira. Galatea is a little bit bigger than Moira is, so we'll see how that goes. But I would like you, Galatea, please could you roll me... Let's have a look. You sunk in 3 feet, didn't you? So could you make me a strength saving throw, please? With advantage.
Okay. This is going to be really good. I'm so strong.
Okay. So Bula, you grab hold of Galatea. Galatea, you're also trying to prop yourself and pull yourself out. But unfortunately, this mud has just got sucked onto your legs, onto your body, and is just holding you firm in there. Even with your mighty strength, Bula, you're just not able to quite get purchased to be able to pull Galatea free in this instant. Okay. Tisvan. I'm going to say that Amaros probably will help you in this situation. I don't think he's someone who would let a friend sink into the mud. So, would you also like to make me a strength save, please, with advantage?
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay. Unfortunately, you try to brace yourself. You try to get Amaros to help pull you as much as he can. Unfortunately, he's got noodle arms. He's not as strong as he looks. Although he's pulling, you do look across at Bula and wish that she was on your side helping to pull you out. She definitely looks a lot stronger than he does. Unfortunately, yeah, you don't get any purchase. You don't move at all. You're kind of wedged in there. So I'll say that's your 4 goes. I'm just trying and keep a track in some sort of order. Moira and Kane, what are you doing in this instance?
So at some point,
yes.
Can I do anything else?
You can in a second. I'll just let the other 2 have their go first, because then everyone will have had a chance to do something on this turn, and then yes, you can have the.
Yeah, cool.
I just don't want to do. I should probably just do a not an encounter, but put us into whatever it's called, bullet time. Can't think of the name at the top of my head now. But yes, I put us into an order, of actions. But I just want to see what you're doing initially.
Turn-based mode?
Sorry?
Turn-based?
Turn-based, that's the one. Yes. Sorry, it's gone out of my head. Yes, not combat, but turn-based. But yes, but I just want to see what you're doing initially now. I might do a turn-based in a second.
About initiative?
Initiative would be another way of doing it, yes. So, Kane and Moira, what are you doing?
What does Kane do?
The scenario
What Moira
that
does
I
depends
said,
on Kane.
where I lift her up and, if needed, sacrifice myself to get her across. Did that come to pass?
Sorry, no. What was that? You were trying to get her past the mud?
I was going to lift her up in my hands.
Yes.
And then, if I'm able to skip the mud, perfect. And she is as well. But I was willing to forgo skipping the mud and step into it deliberately if it meant that Moira could get to the other side safely.
I mean, okay, so I will say because we're all on the same side here. I'll say that there is enough movement room in here that you could run past the other people in your team who are sinking into the quicksand and run straight across it if you like, with Moira above you.
Yeah, like Terminator 2
okay.
in the lava, but instead it's in the mud, and instead of a thumbs up, I'm holding up Moira.
Okay.
I'm fording through this stuff.
All right, so Moira, how do you feel about Kane running directly into the you can't do anything about it. You're just being held above the in his arms. But how do you feel as you see the mud and your friends beside you sinking as he runs blindly into it?
As Kane is approaching, Moira is like, "Are you insane? Are you insane?" And then he actually goes in. She's like, "You are insane. You are actually insane. Okay, please don't let us die."
Okay, so if you're going to run straight out into it or walk or however you're moving into it, when you get closer to it and you see that your comrades sort of sinking in at the start of where this muddy area is, you see that there's probably about 10 feet you could probably to get to the other side. So if you were able to wade out a certain amount, you could probably get to a point where either you can make enough progress towards the other side before you sink completely under, or maybe you can get to a certain point where you could throw Moira the rest of the way. But yeah, you could probably get Moira across safely at the risk of your own life.
That's fine. It's what
okay.
wanted.
All right. So we'll say we'll put you ahead of Galatea as you sort of bravely run into the mud. And Moira, we'll put you here, but you're not in the mud. You're on Kane's shoulders or being held aloft. And Kane, could you please give me a wisdom saving throw, please?
Oh, I'm supposed to be good at those.
Good.
That wasn't meant to be at advantage.
Okay. Do you want to roll again, or do you want me to take the 12?
It's fine. Take the 12.
Take the 12? Okay. That's fine. That's enough. So you run past Galatea as they are sinking into the mud, and you continue going. You've got Moira on your shoulders above. You start running across the mud, you manage to get a bit further out. You get another 5 feet out in front of it. And you will be able to continue on the next turn, but we'll go back to the others and just do it in a sort of a turn order. But you managed to get about 5 feet out into this mud, and wherever you're placing your feet just seems to be a little bit firmer, and you don't begin sinking or anything. Great. So we'll go back to Galatea. So Galatea said, I want to tie a rope around and hold on...
I'm here.
Oh, you're back again. Sorry, I just sort of read it now as I was waiting for the others. So you're going to tie a rope around yourself and then give it to Bula, yeah?
Yep.
Okay. So
I feel like in this scenario it should be Bula making the strength check.
Yeah, so what we'll do is we'll say that, Galatea, you use your action to tie the rope around. While you're doing that, I'll need you to make me another wisdom saving throw, please.
Yeah. Normal.
Just normal.
Or
Very good. Yeah. So as you're fixated on getting the rope out and tying it around, because you're doing that and you're not so moving your limbs around, perhaps you don't think anymore. You're not any further out, but you don't think any further in. So you tie the rope around and then you hand the end to Bula. And Bula, you're going to try and pull with your strength. You're going to try and pull Galatea out, yeah?
Yes, indeed.
Okay, fine. So you will be able to make a strength check for me, please. Strength athletics. Just straight, no advantage. Oh my god. So that's a 10. Unfortunately, that's not enough. You do stop Galatea from sinking anymore, but you're just unable to pull. Even with your great strength as well, you're unable to get any leverage there. But you're definitely keeping her from sinking any further in. Okay, so now we turn to Tisfan. Are you doing anything else or just using your strength again with the help of Amaros to try and get yourself out?
Tisfan will be trying with the help of Amaros to pull himself out again, but he seems a bit off, like he's not putting as much energy into it, I would say.
You or Amaros?
Tisfan.
Sorry, yeah, Tisfan. Okay. All right. Oh, sorry. Can you make me a wisdom saving throw, please, first? Great. Okay. Yep. So, you managed to. Oh, sorry. Yes, that was the saving throw, wasn't it? Yep. Okay. That's fine. Can you now make me a strength? It's a saving throw for you guys. The strength saving throw with advantage, please.
Yes.
14. Yes, that's enough because you didn't. You haven't only sunk 3. So yes. So with your combined strength, you are able to pull yourself back out that 3 feet. Actually, do I, is it just? Let me just check. Yeah. Okay. Yes. So yes. So you managed to pull yourself. So you are still in the same position, but you managed to be pulled back out that 3 feet. So you are now standing on top of the mud in the area that you are, and have used your action to get yourself free. Do you want to continue moving further along the path that you are, or do you want to move back to where Amaros is out of the mud?
This one would move or would he have noticed Kane running like a maniac out into the mud?
I should think so. I should think you probably see him probably jump between you and Galatea and head directly off.
I'm not being subtle.
Yeah. He's got big clanking armor and jumping into the mud. So
remind me, is he sinking?
No, he's not. No.
Okay, then Tisfan would go over to the side where Bula and Amaros is and try to help Bula pull Galatea out.
Okay, so yeah, so you want to join? Oh, sorry, I've paused the game. Sorry. There you go. Okay, so you're gonna join Bula over that side. All right. So as you come out, your trousers and your boots and all the rest of it, they all have this sort of grey ashen mud that is sort of all like clinging to you as you get out. But you manage to pull yourself up with the help of Amaros and get out of the get out there. Okay. I'm not sure what Amaros is going to do at this moment, so we'll just move to Kane for now, and I'll come back to him in a second. So Kane, you're going to continue running across, trying to get to the other side?
Yeah, I guess I should avoid throwing Moira if I don't have to.
I mean, you probably could throw her from this point, but if you don't want to injure her, or if you have any worries about hurting her from throwing her, then that's up to you.
I'm thinking, yeah, I think I'll move as far as I need to place her out of the way of the mud, and then I will wait by the edge to help people out once they get there.
Okay. All right, so are you going to continue moving another 5 feet forward, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're basically on the precipice of getting out here, but you are still in the mud currently. So could you please make me another wisdom saving throw? $16. Yes, that's fine. So yeah, you continue to run across the mud. You do feel like it's giving away under your feet, but through sheer determination or just a very lucky footing, you manage to make it. And you can see that you probably be out of the mud on your next turn. And Moira, you're sitting atop. Is there anything you want to do, Moira, while you're up there?
He is still in mud, right?
He is, but you can see like 5 feet in front of him is the soft earth again.
You can put me down now. I have my own 2 feet.
This situation is the perfect example of why I have a 14 in wisdom but only a 10 in intelligence. I very quickly place Moira down and climb out of the mud myself if I can.
You can't on this turn because you've already used your turn to run across the. So it's you're using your action basically to run across. So it's not just movement. You're actually having to use your skill to be able to keep yourself from sinking. So it's more of a concentrated one rather than just running blindly. But you could, if you wanted to, I'd allow you to throw Moira to safety.
Brace yourself, little mouseling. This might be a rough landing, but it's better than sinking in the mud.
What do you mean, rough landing? There's land right there.
Cool. So give me, what should we do? Should we do a dexterity check just to throw Moira in the right direction and not into any thorns or anything?
Anything but dex.
Well, I think it's a dexy thing, isn't it? Like throwing.
I guess.
It'll be easy. It'll be fine. You'll be okay. A 2. Okay. All right. So let's say, give me a D4. So we'll say 1 is north, 2 is east, 3 is south, and 4 is west. In the direction that you throw.
I swear to God, if you throw me in the mud.
North.
Oh, how?
So you running across, you grab hold of Moira and you pull your arms back, ready to throw Moira forward, so south from where you currently are onto the safety. And as you pull your arms back to throw her, she just slips out of your grip and she falls back behind you on top of the mud.
No.
She just slips out of your hands, unfortunately, and lands in the mud. Moira, could you give me a wisdom saving throw?
Wait, hold on. How do I do? Wait a minute. Ah, there we go. Wisdom, yes.
Yes, please.
Normal.
Just a normal, yep, wisdom saving throw. 14. Perfect. Yep, you hit the ground and you're like, oh god, the mud. But you are light enough, it seems, where you currently are to not sink. Seeing as you haven't had any movement, if you'd like to, you can move forward. See if you can get to the edge of the... you won't be able to get out of the entire area on this turn, but you'll be able to get so that the next turn you'll be able to get out if you want to move forward.
Yes, please.
Yeah, perfect. All right, we'll move you here. Okay, so you are basically... Kane goes to throw you, you slip out of his hands, you drop onto the mud and scamper up by the side of him and just like keep yourself balanced. And you can see nice, soft, dry earth just before you. So we now jump back to Galatea, who is 3 feet into this squishy, horrible mud. Before we see what you're going to do, could you please make me another wisdom saving throw?
Yep.
Ooh, very good. 19. Excellent. Well, you don't sink any further into the mud. So the 3 feet that you've been pulled in, you are holding steady. It's all good. Is there anything else you would like to do before, I guess, Bula and Tisvan try and pull you out?
I think, despite not sinking any further at the moment, and despite not getting hit more by this thing, I'm just gonna sort of stand there in the mud and cry. I'm just gonna stand there and
just crying in the mud.
Just leave me, because I did this.
Okay. I'm just making a note here.
Still, like, hold on to the rope. I'm not gonna let go.
Oh, of course not. No. So, all right. So while you're crying in the mud, Bula and Tisvan, are you going to try and pull Galatea out?
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Yep.
So, if you're helping each other, either one of you can decide to pull with advantage, or you can both roll separately. It's up to you.
I'll let Luna roll with advantage.
Okay. So if you can give me a strength athletics with advantage, please. $18. Perfect. Yes. With Tisvan anchoring the line now, Bula, you give it an almighty tug, pulling as hard as you can. Tisvan, you've taken up the slack and pulling as well. Amros cheering you with pom-poms at the side. And through the combined strength of you all, you finally manage to pull Galatea, crying slowly out of the mud, back onto dry land again. And Galatea, you are free of the mud.
And as she's pulled back onto the ground, Bula will say, "No creature left behind, not even you."
Thanks.
Excellent. Well, that's very, very, very good. Let's just make sure that our paladin and our cleric are okay. Oh no, sorry, both clerics, aren't you? Both clerics. Please roll. First of all, I'd like you both roll me a final wisdom saving throw before you hopefully decide to walk out of the mud. 13? Yeah, that's fine. No worries, no sweat. And a 16. Perfect. Both clerics. You'll be safe to know that you have run across the mud. It's pretty unbelievable to the rest of you, as you were sinking and struggling and everything else, that Kane just runs across the top of the mud, not sinking in at all, effortlessly carrying Moira, just as kind of a slip up when he sort of dropped her at one point. But both clerics managed to make it to the other side safely across the mud hole.
Balance.
Moira is walking like an angry Pikachu.
And now that the party is split, what would you like to do?
Fuck yeah.
So for those listening, the two clerics are one side of this mud hole, this 15 feet mud hole, and Galatea, Amoros, Bula, and Tisfan are all the other side of this 15-foot mud hole.
My face sounds so gleeful at the moment.
No, I'm just commenting. I'm just commentating on what the current position is for everyone. I'm completely neutral.
Sure.
That's all Fey should be. I can't help that I love it. But yeah, what's everyone doing?
What are we doing?
Moira is huffing and puffing and trying to get herself rid of the mud. Once
Yes,
was enough, and now I have to deal with this again.
Yeah, luckily, Moira, your little feet running over the thing. You don't wear any shoes, do you?
No.
No. So you remember the last time that you went into the mud, and you sunk quite deeply in it, but you were able to like wipe that mud off, and you got it off eventually, and your little feet have a little bit of mud on them now, but same as Kane, your boots are slightly muddy, but you managed to get across this without sinking in at all. Tisfan and Galatea, on the other hand, being sunk 3 feet into this thing, you've got a lot of this thick sort of grey ashen mud sort of clinging to your trousers or your boots and all the rest of it. Yeah, quite sort of nasty sort of grey sludge clinging to you now.
I don't know if Galatea will do anything other than just sort of stand there. I know it's not helpful, but I think they're having a time.
I think Amoros would give you some words of encouragement and try and sort of make sure that you're all right. He goes to kind of put a hand on your shoulder, but thinks twice about it, and just maybe kneels down where you're sitting or laying on the ground, and just says, "At least you're safe now. Come on, we've got to get through this. It'll be fine. You're safe."
Tisfan will start to pace a bit, a little agitated, muttering. Deadly mud hole on one side, a stupid fucking plant on the other. What's the point?
Bula's gonna look at him and she's kind of gonna do her usual. It's fine. This place is just really not liking us. The other guy's got across. We can do it too.
Can't leave the others, at least, I guess.
I guess with that, I will start to try and follow the same path that Kane took, hoping to get across as swiftly as he did.
Okay, yeah.
Wait. Do you... No, never mind.
Bula will kind of look over and be like, what's up?
I don't know. I had a... I don't know. It does... I was thinking we could use the rope or something, but it's not going to work. We don't have anything to tie it to. There's... We're just stuck.
While you guys are just chatting, and And Amaros, yeah, seems like concerned for you, and understandably probably think to yourself, you obviously don't want to go across this mud again. He sort of reaches into his pack or pouch for a moment and slowly draws out a small packet, a packet that he picked up from the carnival, and he looks at you, at Galatea, and says, I don't know if this will be any help, but I picked this up at the carnival, and it only has one use, but perhaps if you're worried, this might be something of use to you. And he draws out the packet of pixie dust that he won at the carnival.
No, it's okay. You have it. I'll wait here. It's okay.
I just thought I would offer it as a suggestion. It's always here for anyone. If you think it would help. And if you ask, it's the pixie dust allows one person to be able to fly, essentially, with a speed of 30 feet for 1 minute. But unfortunately, only one person.
Cool.
Yes.
Yeah, I was just about to say, what is it?
Yeah, that's what it does. It allows one person to fly for a minute.
I guess one of us could fly over holding one end of a rope to help pull the others across.
Yeah, but we're just gonna get stuck again on the other side.
Not with Kane's help.
Question. Do Kane and Moira hear any of the conversation on the other side?
I would. I mean, I don't expect the guys are whispering. Are you just talking normally? Normal volume?
Oh yeah, giving up whispering.
Yeah, I mean, you're not that far away, and as I said before, if you're speaking normal, it does sort of echo a little bit in this kind of confined area that you're in. So I'd say you'd be able to hear the conversation going back and forth.
Moira's gonna raise her voice a little bit. We're on dry land. We made it past the mud.
Muna, yes. She's definitely Muna now. Bula will kind of turn and look at Galatea with almost a smug smile, see, and she'll be like, see, they made it over. We can do it too. Kane is right there too. He's got us.
Whatever you want. I give up.
Bula will, using her own rope, she'll start walking across, trying not to use the pixie dust, see if she can get across without it first.
Okay, so you're using your own rope. So what are you doing with the rope?
I'm just carrying it with me for now.
Okay.
I probably haven't even took it out my bag yet. No,
Okay.
I will have. I'll give it one end because I need to give it to someone. So I'll give one end to Tisvan because he seems very sure of himself.
Wait! I've already tied it around me. Why not grab the other end? Why grab a new rope?
because she doesn't want to just suddenly drag you along. She's trying to be considerate, so she's using her own rope. She's like, I'm giving this then to Tisvin, and I'm just gonna make a new rope bridge.
I was thinking, I was trying to remember, like, did you tie yourself to Galatea? Because I can see you going off and then just dragging Galatea through the mud behind you, forgetting that you've tied yourself to her. But yeah, you were only holding it, you weren't tied to it.
Yeah, I was only holding it. So
Well,
she's
how
obviously
long
since then let
is
go.
the rope?
Is it
50 feet, isn't it?
Yeah.
50 feet rope? Yeah.
So there should be plenty of rope.
Yeah, but Galatea's all sad and stuff, so she let go of Galatea's rope and just grabbed her own rope and was like, come on, and she's strong-arming Tisvin into it instead because he seemed less worried.
No, no, Galatea's gonna be like, what are you doing? Just hold this.
She'll kind of pause for a moment, I guess, then, and be like, you sure about that?
I don't. You. I'll follow you if you're going. Just here.
At that, she will just nod, grab the other end of Galatea's rope then, again, and start walking across. Just no questions more.
Galatea is confused and sad and stupid.
Bula is just headstrong and determined and just like, fuck it.
Okay, so you're going to go walk across following the path that Kane took?
Yes, indeed.
And sorry, whose rope are you holding onto? Your own rope? And
I do have Galatea's rope.
Okay.
I have my rope in hand as well, but I have Galatea's rope.
Okay, so you're holding Galatea's rope, which is tied around Galatea, and you're holding your own rope, and you've handed the end of that to Tisvin. Is that right?
Well, as I was handing it to Tisvin, Galatea kind of was like, "No, don't be silly." So she's just holding her rope now.
All right, so you're just holding your rope, just on your own, but you're holding Galatea's rope. So if you walk across, you're going to be pulling Galatea behind you, yeah?
Yes.
Okay, fine. All right, Bula.
Behind, just we're.
Well, I didn't know if you were resisting going or whether you were just.
Rope. Take the other end. It's gonna go forever. I mean, you could actually.
The other
You would
side
just
forever.
follow.
Yeah, I mean, okay, so we'll say that you're not being dragged across because it's 50 feet, so you'll be able to get to the other side and not have it pulled tight. So you could, if you want, either keep it tight and pull her, or you can keep it loose and just have a rope that goes from one end to the other end.
I'll be keeping it loose. I'm not
Cool.
too mean.
All right, okay, so Bula, you're going to step out into the mud.
Indeedy.
Okay. All right, so you charge out following the path that Kane took. Kane, are you shouting instruction of where you went just so that Bula knows exactly where you trod?
Yeah, there's going to be encouraging words as well.
Perfect.
He's like the coach on the sidelines in like a basketball game. He's like shouting out instructions.
Excellent. Okay, so Bula, excuse me, as you step out into the mud, please could you give me a wisdom saving throw? Oh, very good. 14. Yes. Bula, you start walking out confidently, following the path, encouraged by Kane, walking out into the mud, and you manage to place your feet around the sort of area that Galatea had stepped into, gingerly more to sort of the side, and you manage to walk out there and find purchase on some of the ground and don't sink in. So you continue to make your way out. So while Bula is making her way across, Tisvin, what are you doing?
Tisvin would first stand very confused, wondering if he was supposed to do something or just stand there or what was going on, because he was told to hold the end of the rope, then he wasn't. Yeah. So he's just confused for the moment.
Okay, all right. I think Amaros would say to you like, come on, my friend. Let's. I'm sure if we follow Bula this time, he seems to be making it across. It's obviously possible. We could, if you don't mind, if you could like help guide me across as well. I think we could probably make it.
I mean, I guess we could try.
And he steps forward and looks, and he just waits for Bula to continue, just to make sure that the path is relatively safe. And he looks back and he says, I might have an idea. I don't know if it'll work, but let me see if I've got something that might help us. And he just thinks and starts preparing a spell of sorts. Galatea, are you doing anything for the moment, or are you waiting to see how Bula goes, or what are you up to?
I am waiting to see how Bula goes.
Okay.
Just sort of standing there.
So, Kane, you're showing encouragement to Bula. Anything else?
Is there any way I could maybe roll like a persuasion or a charisma check or something to kind of, make the group roll a little like better or anything like that?
I mean, do you have anything that you could use to bolster the rolls? Like, do you have anything that you could do in that way? I mean, you can definitely show words of encouragement. I don't think it's going to help on the wisdom roll or anything like that, unless you've got a specific ability that would allow you to give them advantage or.
Let me have a little look.
And Moira, what are you doing?
Moira is waiting.
Okay, we're just watching and waiting.
Why are you guys so slow? Come on, please don't get swallowed by the mud. I want to get out of here.
Galatea, while you're just sitting there, do you want to give me a perception check?
Sure.
Cool.
9.
Yeah. You're just watching the others slowly sort of make their way across. Bula specifically going across currently.
Oh, I don't know if it would help anyone, but I could throw my own rope out.
Yeah.
For them to grab onto, and I will try to hold it tight. Strength is my highest stat, so fingers crossed.
Oh, okay. That's a good idea. Yeah. Yeah. You might have to wait for Bula to get a little bit closer. Although the rope's long enough, you'll kind of round a bend currently where you are.
It was kind of, I'll hold the action if possible.
Yeah.
To throw the rope.
Sure, yeah. So if Bula on her next turn will probably be visible to you, and you'll be able to throw the rope out. So we'll see if she can grab the other end of it. You'll probably be give her advantage on if she gets stuck to help her strength, to get her out. Cool.
Okay,
all right then.
great.
So I guess Bula again. Yes, you continuing your trek across the mud.
Yes, indeed.
Okay, move yourself forward, and if you could make me another wisdom saving throw, please. Oh, yeah.
Gosh darn it.
It's a natural 1. Okay, could you re-roll me a d4, please? A 4. You sink 4 feet into the mud. As you come around the corner, you stand on a particularly squishy bit of the mud, and you just get sucked down. Your leg begins to slowly disappear into the mud, you put your other leg down to try and brace yourself, and it just goes straight into the mud again, and you find yourself... how tall are you?
I'm just trying to look that up now. I think I said she was about 6 foot, but I don't want to say for certain.
All right, let's have a look at your page. Let's see if it says on there. I'm sure you're not. The only one who would be at very great risk with this is Moira, because I think last time you were almost buried straight away. So I think everybody else is at least 5 foot, so you shouldn't be able to go under on the first roll.
6'2".
6'2", perfect. All right, so you are up to your chest, probably. Yeah, just below your chest. You're probably up to at the moment. In there. And can you mark down that you have 1 level of gloom corruption?
Okay.
Thank you.
As she does this, she's gonna look around and she's gonna be like, "This is fine. Don't worry."
So you've still got you got hold of Galatea's rope. You're holding your own rope. Kane, now that you see Bula, did you want to throw your rope as you see her start slowly sinking into the mud?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you're going to throw the end to Bula. Bula, you're going to need to catch this rope. But you've got both your hands full. So are you going to let go of one of the other ropes?
She will just drop her rope.
Okay. You can put it in your pocket, your backpack or something. You don't have to drop it in the mud. You can just let go of it, put it in your pocket.
Reach my backpack.
We'll say that there's a pocket or somewhere that you can just put it into, so you're not going to lose it in the mud. But yeah, do you want to make me a sleight of hand to see if you can grab this rope as it's thrown towards you? Very good. Yes.
Yay.
So as you uncoil the rope, Kane, and you heft the side across, yelling out "Bula!" You throw across the rope, and Bula, you manage to grab it out of the air and twist it around your arm, bracing yourself. Very, very good. Okay, so okay. Amaros stands in front of you, Tisfan, and he says, let me try something. And he looks at the mud in front of him, and he begins... let me just have a little look. Oh, I'm on the wrong page here. Let me just turn back. I was looking at Bula. Okay, so he starts saying some sort of cryptic words, casting some kind of spell, and a bluish glow appears in his hand, and you see him send a bolt or a ray of frost down into the mud in front of him. So let me roll that. $16, perfect. Okay, yeah, so he fires this ray of frost down into the mud, and for a moment you're not sure if it did anything, and then this sort of almost thin frost, almost like spiderweb, just sort of you could just see grow on this sort of 5-foot patch of the mud, and it looks like it's partially frozen. And he turns around back to you, Tisfan, and says, I don't know if this will hold for long, but perhaps it'll give us a chance of getting across. I can keep doing this as many times as we need to. And he steps out onto the frozen patch. He is going to make a roll. Where the fuck is his things? Okay. Wisdom saving throw. Advantage this time. A 20, yeah. So he stands out onto this frozen patch of mud, and he seems to support his weight. And he looks back at Tisfin and says, it may be only good for a short time, but perhaps this is the way. And he looks at Bula, and he offers his assistance, but he can see you already have a rope thrown into your hand anyway. Tisfin, anything you'd like to do?
Tisfin will shrug his shoulders and more or less follow Amaros.
Okay. And Galatea.
Yeah, pretty much the same as Tisman, just ambling along.
Okay. Perfect. All right. So Kane, I guess you're on your turn. You're going to try and assist strength tech with Bula.
Sorry, I was passing pancakes. What did I miss?
So Bula has sunk 4 feet into the mud. You've thrown the rope. When it's your turn, I'm assuming you're going to help her with a strength check to get out.
Yeah, would it be strength or athletic?
Well, strength athletics, yeah.
Okay, cool. Just checking because my athletics is better than my strength.
Yeah, no, it's an
it's
athletics because you're doing an activity, and you probably won't have seen this at the moment, but you may be in a minute. But I was just explaining that Amaros has used Ray of Frost to temporarily freeze a patch of the mud and was able to stand on it to help get across. Or at least currently he's on that. Okay, so let's jump back to, unless Moira, is there anything you want to do?
There's nothing really I can do, so
Okay, no worries. So Bula, on your turn, first I need you to make another wisdom saving throw, if you will.
Okie dokie.
Okay. Could you mark down that you have another level, so 2 levels now of Gloom Corruption?
Okay.
And also, can you roll me another D4? Okay. You sink another 3 feet into the mud.
I'm fully submerged.
So Kane, as you throw the rope out, you see Bula catch it. Amros steps out onto the frozen mud to get closer to Bula, but she is just sinking at speed, and you see maybe just her fist sticking out as it's raised high above her head, holding the end of this rope, but you just see her head slowly disappear under the mud. But you now get to have your turn. So, Bula, either you can roll a strength check with advantage if you're trying to pull yourself out, or Kane, you can roll straight strength, unless Moira wants to help you, in which case you can roll with advantage with strength to try and pull her out. So, decide between you of you which of you is rolling.
Moira.
Well, Kane
I will
actually
help.
preemptively rolled, so do we get to count that roll that he preemptively did?
So I guess if you want to use it, next time if you just wait until I've said it. But if you want to go with Kane's roll to pull you out, and do you want to roll again? Did you roll a 20? No, you didn't roll. What did you roll? Was it a 20 you rolled, or did you roll?
It was
a dirty 20.
It was a dirty 20. Well, if you want Moira to help, you can have advantage, so you can roll again to see if you can get anything higher.
I'm sorry, when I asked you about athletics, I thought you meant roll it.
Oh no, I'm sorry. I was just saying on her turn when you're helping her, and you asked. I thought you were asking me just what will I be rolling at that point. It's all right.
My bad.
So if you want, if Moira, if you're happy to help strength wise, that just gives Kane advantage, basically.
Yes.
Okay, so Kane, if you want to roll again, just in case you get higher than that. 22. There you go, even better. So you were 4 foot to begin with. You went another 3. Yes, so that is enough. So with your combined strength, you manage to pull with all your might as you see Bula's head dip underneath the mud, and you manage to pull, and you can feel movement. You can feel this mud is very soft. She's coming out again as quickly as she sunk in. Bula, can you roll me a d4 and see how far they pull you out? Okay, so you managed to pull Bula another 3 feet out. So you're essentially back to where you were. You're 4 feet still in the mud, but you are now able to breathe and outside. You're coated from head to toe in this thick grey ashen mud all over your face and arms and hands and stuff, but you're able to see the light again.
She will once again just be like, I told you it's fine.
Awesome. Always the optimist. Awesome. So I guess Amaros is seeing you're being pulled out. Can't really help you any other way at the moment. Will have to sort of go round you. So they are now going to try that trick again with the old ice. So let me do that and this. Okay, so he sends a bolt of ice out into the next section of mud, and it hits again. This time you don't see the same growing of sort of like ice across the top, that sort of faint frost again. But it hits, so he steps out into that 5 feet. And he must make a roll. Okay, he doesn't do very well. He rolls a 1, and that makes a 4. So he has a level of corruption. This sand is more deadly than I thought it was. Let's write this down. He also has 1 level of corruption. Let's see how far he sinks. 2 feet. Okay, so 2 foot. So he goes down to just above his knees as he sinks into the grey. Okay, Tisvan, are you continuing to walk out into the square that was frozen previous?
Yep.
Yep. Okay, so you roll up to that. You see Amaros again hit the ice on the floor, but this time he starts sinking into it, and he's about 2 foot deep. Can you please make the wisdom save, but with advantage, please? $15. Yeah, that's fine. So you step out onto that, and yeah, you don't sink or anything. But you see Amaros is starting to sink. Is there anything you would like to do?
Tisvan will attempt to pull Amaros out of the mud.
Okay, so you just go grab hold of him and help. Do you want to use just your strength to pull him out? I suppose it'd be advantage either way because you're both going to be working together. So he'll give you advantage on a strength check to pull him out.
Strength athletics?
Yep. How did he go in? He go 2 foot in, didn't he? Yep. So that's fine. So yeah, so you grab him. He's only up to just about his knees. But you grab him, and with your combined strength, you manage to pull him up, and he manages to get footing, and is pulled back out of the mud and stands on the top again. And he looks at you and says, "Oh, thank you. That didn't quite go as planned, but I'll continue doing it. There's no sense in not trying." And yes, so he is stable currently on the surface. Okay, Galatea, what are you doing currently?
Following. Oh, I should have moved myself, shouldn't I?
Now, are you going to wait and follow the path that's in ice, or are you going to walk just onto the mud?
Oh, I want to go on the ice.
You want to go the ice? Okay, all right. So we'll move you because you can't be in the same place as Tisfan, but you theoretically could be in the same area. So we're just going to move you forward here, but we're going to say that you're basically following. Otherwise, you'll be stuck behind everyone for a long time. So just make me the wisdom save with advantage. Yep, that's enough. That's just enough. So yeah, you managed to step out onto the ice, and unlike the first time you stepped out onto the mud, you feel that this solid nature of the mud this time, rather than the softness before, and you managed to stand on there without sinking in. Okay. Moira, if you want to jump in anytime and let me know if you're doing anything. Otherwise, I'm just going to roll backwards and forwards between those going across the mud.
Before we get any further, can I use Ray of Frost?
Oh, if you've got Ray of Frost, yeah, you could do. I mean,
Help out?
Yeah, sure. We're all a bit bunched up here at the moment. In terms of space.
Oh, it's immediately in front of you.
Sorry?
Is it only immediately in front of you?
No, it's 60 feet. So yes, you could shoot it beyond if you want, yeah?
Cool. Well, I'll try and aim a little bit ahead so we have somewhere to go.
Okay. Where would you like to... Which square? That one there? Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. If you'd like to make me an attack, please.
I attack you, mud.
15. Yeah, that's fine. So, yeah, so that square there, let's mark it. Let me... Little thing. Can you see that?
Yeah.
Yep. So that little area there is now frosty.
Wait, did my spell actually work for once?
Yeah. You sent it out.
Might be the first one I've cast.
Oh, perfect. So yeah, so you see the magic that Amros has used, and you sense that similar power that you have as well. And so you point at a section of the mud in front of you, and this blast of cold air just blasts out, just tinged with crystals of ice. And you see that similar, as he did earlier, a similar kind of web of frost just go across the mud in front and just sort of solidify, just enough to create a firmer platform.
This reminds me of an old character of mine. This is weird, really, really weird. Same deal, learning magic. Trying and casting something ice related.
Excellent. Okay. Right. Back to Bula. Bula, you are still 4 feet in the mud. But between you and Kane, I'm sure you're going to try and pull yourselves out again. So, you choose. Either Bula, you can roll with advantage, or Kane, you can roll with advantage. But actually, first of all, we need to have another wisdom saving throw, please. Okay. Can you mark down a 3rd level of gloom corruption, please?
Okay.
Now, let me have a little look on here. Okay. Right. I just need to message you something. Bula, bear with me 1 second, everyone.
This is fine.
Uh-oh.
Nothing to be worried about. It's fine. All good.
It's all fine.
All fine, everyone. No worries at all.
It's not fine. Nothing is fine.
Now, I just need to look at something on your character sheet. 1 second.
In the meantime, I'm painting a happy little forest.
Oh, nice.
Just so I don't get really depressed. In the mud.
I can't see it. Let me have a look. Oh, yes. Okay, perfect. All right, let me just message you this.
Happy little forest picture.
That is a happy little forest picture. It's so pretty.
This is not the forest we're in right now.
It's the complete opposite of the forest we're in right now.
It is the complete opposite of the forest. This is where I wish we were.
Okay, right. Yeah, just sending you a little message, Luna. Right. So now you can make the roll for me. So who is rolling? Ula, are you rolling with advantage, or Kane, are you rolling with advantage?
I'm going to say that I am because he had to be RB again.
Oh, okay, no worries. All right, if you'd like to roll strength athletics with advantage, please. Oh, sorry. Before you do that, oh, well, it doesn't matter. That's fine. That's very good indeed. That's fine. No, that's good. But before I calculate that, because you failed the last one, I forgot to ask you to roll a d4. So I need you to roll a d4 first for sinking.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay. So you sink. So you're 4 feet at the moment. So you're now 8 feet under. So as you are being pulled up, the mud sucks you back under again. So you're now 8 feet under. Sorry, you're 6 foot. So you're 2 feet under. Your head is 2 feet under the mud. However, you still got hold of the rope, and with your strength, that is enough to pull you back out again. So if you can roll me another d4, please, and see how far you come out. Now, you need to get at least a 2. That's a 1. So...
What did he just tell you?
Sorry. So you sink 4 feet lower. So you were 4 feet, you went down another 4 feet, so you're 2 foot under. You managed to pull yourself up a foot, but you are now a foot under the mud. So they can't. The rope is still taut, but they haven't been able to pull you up enough. So currently, you cannot breathe.
This is so fine.
So there's a bubble that just explodes, going, "It's fine." All right. So yes, so Kane, you look out and you pull with all your might, or with the strength that you can feel, like Bula's pulling as well, and you can feel movement coming back. You're pulling the rope within your hands, and you feel movement, but not enough to actually see Bula currently.
I don't like this. You're loving this.
I'm not loving it. I hate this. I hate this.
I hate this. He says, smiling.
I can't. I laugh and I smile when I'm in pain.
Yes, sure.
Okay. So Amaros is going to see Galatea that you frosted the space in front of him, so he's going to move across to that. He is going to roll. First of all, he's going to roll a Wisdom save. Where the hell? Yeah, here. Here. Saving throw, advantage. Okay. Cool. Okay, so he hops across effortlessly, lands on the frozen area. Perfect. All good. He is also going to send out a ray of frost in a square in front of him to try and create another safe area. He does. Perfect. Okay, so we're going to mark this square here also as frosted area. That is the end of his go. All right. Now, Tisvan, it's your turn. Are you going to follow the path that Amros is doing, or are you doing something else?
Can Tisvan attempt to try and help pull Bula out? Or is he in the wrong position for that?
I will say, because you're near enough and you can see the rope, I'll say that you can attempt to make a strength check to try, an athletics check to try and pull the rope, and try and pull. It will just be a straight athletics, no advantage, because Bula doesn't know that you're trying to help at the moment. She's already used her action anyway. But you can try and pull, and try and pull her up as much as you can if you like.
Can I?
Then
I'm gonna say you're a little bit too far away to help him do that, because
wasn't
you got the rope.
Bula holding onto the rope tied to Galatea?
Yes, sorry, yes, I've forgotten about that. So there are two ropes going into the mud. There's the one that's going to Kane, and there's one that's to Galatea. So if you want to, Galatea, if you want to help Galatea on her turn to help pull Bula out, if you both agree to do that, then you can have advantage on the strength check.
Nice.
If they're all right doing that, Galatea, on your turn.
Which one of us is pulling?
So I'll probably say that you can decide between you. I would imagine that Tisfan's probably stronger than you.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. So I think it's a combined thing, but we'll say that Tisfan makes he's nearer than you are, so he'll grab hold of the rope further along from where you are, because you're at the end of the rope, and so you can both pull, but you'll give him advantage for doing it.
Cool.
Sounds
okay.
good.
Perfect. All right. So go for it, please.
$15.
So she is 10, 4. How far is she under? It was 4, and then it was another 4, wasn't it? So she was 8, but she got pulled back up 1. So no, you'd need 17, I'm afraid. You pull with all your might, but she's so far down now in the mud that it's just continuously sucking her deeper into it, and from standing above, and you're also on a slippery platform, you just can't get the angle right, can't get the purchase to be able to pull, and she doesn't sink any further, but you're sort of holding her there, but you cannot drag her out.
All right.
Okay, so that was your action. If you would like to, you can move forward, or you can stay where you are. It's up to you.
He'll move a step forward.
Okay, so that area there wasn't frosted. It wasn't successful, so you will have to make me a straight wisdom saving throw, please.
Time for Tisvan to go under.
Please don't.
I told you so.
That's an 8. Okay. Can you mark down? You got 2 levels of the corruption.
Yep.
Just make a note here. Okay. And please roll me a d4.
He stopped sounding happy and now he sounds worried. Now I'm really worried.
Okay, it's only 1 foot. It's okay. So you sink. Your feet start to sink into the mud, but just a little bit, not too much. So we're okay.
All right.
Galatea, you're kind of bottlenecked at the moment, unless you want to try and either. Oh no, because you've used your action, haven't you? So you've only got movement.
Can I jump?
You can jump to there if you want the other side. Yeah, it's not a frozen area, but you could jump over to this side of Tisfin if you want to, yeah.
Can I not? Because I was... So we were saying we were in the same spot, but not really.
Yes, that's right. But you want to? Well, the area that he currently isn't safe. It's like he's sinking into that. So you can jump into the same square again, or I'll allow you to jump this side of him, so you're actually in your own space.
Cool. And I can't jump over Bula instead.
What, diagonally?
No.
No, I think that's a bit too. In the realms of where you're moving, I've already kind of allowed you to be on that space. So I don't think you'd be able to get past Amaros in this scenario. So I'm going to say that's the nearest you can get. So you'll be ahead of Tisfin, but not in front of Amaros because he was already leading the way. So,
I mean, if that's my only choice, I think I'm going to stay put.
Okay, all right. So you stay put there. Perfect. You don't have to make me a roll because you're already on ground. Actually, no, I did make you roll on that one. So yes, if you're not moving, then that's fine. Okay. All right. So again, Moira and Kane, unless you want to do anything else, I'll just go back to Bula and we'll see if we can pull her out, if that's okay.
Can I drop my shield and also hold out my quarterstaff as well as my rope? So there's like multiple objects you can grab onto for me to pull you out.
That would help if I could see, but I can't see.
Yeah, I think if you're holding onto the rope with all your might with Moira, I don't think there's any way that you could let go to pull out a shield or something else. Both your hands are currently busy, and it wouldn't really help because she's not near enough to grab anything.
I guess that was just me being a stick in the mud.
Oh dear.
I live with that.
So unless you've got any other magic that you want to use or anything else that you think might help.
I don't have any magic, Faye.
All right.
It's all gone.
Okay, so it comes back then to
very sad, sitting on the ground like.
So it comes back to the decision. Bula, are you rolling for strength with advantage, or Kane, are you rolling for strength with advantage?
Wait, what?
So it's Bula's turn. Bula can either roll with advantage using Kane's strength to help her pull herself out, or Kane can roll with advantage with Bula's help to try and pull her out. So which one are you going to do? It just depends who wants to roll.
Apparently, it's up to me.
Up to you?
I guess I'm rolling.
You do it? Okay, so you and Moira, you're grabbing hold of the rope and you're going to pull with all your might to try and pull Bula free of the mud, or at least so you can see her again.
Before that, I feel like I'm obligated to at least say, don't I need to do another wisdom saving throw? Or are there turns before that?
Well, I'm going to say this is on his turn if he wants to do it, the roll. So if Kane's doing the roll, he gets to act on his turn. So that's before your start of your turn. You just won't be able to roll for a strength on your turn because you're giving him advantage on his turn. So you don't need to make a roll. Yes, you don't need to roll for wisdom unless it's the beginning of your turn. So if he's pulling, it'll be on his turn, which is before yours. So Kane
with advantage.
With advantage, yep. Yep. So strength, athletics with advantage. 19. That is. What did I work out? It was 17 you needed. So yes, that's enough. Bula, can you roll me a d4, please? Okay, so you pull with all your might, and you pull, and you just see the top of Bula's head as you see her head pop just a little bit above the mud, just enough to take a breath. But she's just literally on the surface now, but you can see her face.
Oh, at least she can breathe out of her nostrils.
Yes, she can. You can hear her gasping. Covered in mud, like holding on for dear life onto this rope. But you do manage to pull her up enough that she's now be able to breathe.
It's fine.
With that, Bula, could you make me a wisdom saving throw, please? And please make it a good one.
not a good one.
Oh, no. Okay. 4 levels of gloom corruption.
As she goes down, she's just gonna yell, I don't like this anymore!
Okay. All right. You're now 4 feet under the mud. Okay. All right, there's other things that doesn't affect you currently. Yeah, Bula, unfortunately, you take a breath, and as you take that breath into your lungs, thinking, oh, I can breathe, you feel something below you just pull with all its might down, and you are sucked down. Kane, you feel the rope burn your hands or your gloves as the rope just pulls through your hand. Not enough for you to lose grip completely. You still have it, but you just feel the rope sliding out of your hand as Bula once again disappears below the surface of the mud.
No, thank you.
Okay. Amoros. Amoros steps forward onto this section. He makes a... which is already ice, so he then makes a wisdom with advantage. Oh, she fails. So Amoros is 1 level of... Oh, did he have one already? I think he may have already had one. Yes. Okay, so he's at 2 levels. Okay, he gets a level, but he does not sink because of the frozenness around him. However, he turns around and sees the struggle. He sees the rope taut from Kane. He sees the rope sliding through your hands. He sees you and Moira battling, pulling as hard as you can, trying to hold on, but Bula just slipping forward. I'm going to say that because this is all happening essentially all at the same time as he's doing these things, very, very close together, as Bula, he sees her face come out and she starts slowly disappearing under, he quickly reaches into his pocket, he grabs the packet of pixie dust and he throws it down on top of Bula's face as the face of Bula just goes and gets pulled under. Tisfin.
Oh, what the heck is that?
So yeah, he takes the packet, he rips the top, he throws the pixie dust basically down onto your face as it hits you in the face, and you get pulled down 4 feet underneath. Tisfin.
I guess I gotta try to pull myself that 1 foot out of the mud.
Oh shit! Yeah, sorry. Yes, so you need to make me a wisdom saving throw, please. Excellent.
Oh,
okay. Roll me a... well, it doesn't matter. You don't need to roll a d4 because you're only 1 foot in. You can't roll anything less than a 1. So you are back on the surface and stable. Now, do you want to move onto the iced bit and then do a strength check, I guess, to help Bula? Or are you doing something else?
That is exactly what I'm doing.
Perfect. Okay, so if you move onto there, and then Galatea, are you happy to give advantage again like you did last time?
Absolutely.
Perfect. All right. Tisfin, please give me a strength athletics with advantage. 23! Okay, so 10. She's 4 under, isn't she, currently? So 6, 8, 9. Yes, just enough. Okay, roll me a d4, please, Bula. And make it a 4. Please. 2, okay. That's fine. So you pull the rope between the two of you. You can feel the rope pulling back up again. You can feel 2 feet of the rope come up. You still don't see Bula, but you can feel that you're successfully pulling the rope up, and you can feel that there's something still attached to the end of it. So you carry on pulling, but you do not still see the head of Bula currently. Okay. Galatea, are you staying where you are, or are you moving?
I am staying put.
Staying put? Okay. All right. Back to Kane. Are you going to roll to pull again on your turn?
Yes. I
Yeah?
guess so.
Okay. So please give me a roll with advantage.
Oh.
So she came up 2. So
Back down
8.
to 17 needed, isn't it?
You're 2 feet still under, so 18 is what you needed. So you rolled exactly what you needed. So please roll another d4 to see how far you come out. Hey, 4! Okay, so Bula, with an almighty yank, Moira and Kane, you give it everything you can. You pull, and you launch yourselves backwards as you see Bula rocket out. Her head, her shoulders, they come flying out of the mud. Mud flicks up into the air. You're coughing, you're wheezing, trying to get your breath back from being under the mud. You're coated in this thick, grey, horrible mess. But you are now 2 feet above. You're basically your chest height now in the mud, and you cough but when you come out, you all notice that there's this sort of glowing kind of almost like glitter all down, sort of caught in the mud and sort of stuck all over Bula's face as she emerges from this mud hole. Bula, could you please make me one wisdom saving throw, please?
No.
Hey! Natural 20! As you come out, you gasp for that air. You see, if you like, the mud slips off from your eyes. You look around, you see Tisvan, Galatea. You see a rope attached to Moira and Kane. You see Amoros there with a packet of empty pixie dust, standing looking at you. All of them, all pulling, all cheering, all trying to pull you free. You feel this camaraderie, and with that sense of a positivity that your friends are here, they're not going to let you go. You manage to get rid of one of your levels of corruption. So you're down to 2.
I was on 4th level, so aren't I down to 3?
Oh, were you 4? Oh, shit. Okay, sorry, you were down to 3. I couldn't read my own handwriting. Thank you for telling me that. All right.
You're welcome. I'll keep you right.
That's all right. No, that's good. No worries. Nothing changes. That's fine. So yes, okay. So you are now 3, but yes, you come out and you breathe and you launch out this, and as you look across at your party members, could you now make me another D4 roll, please? Oh, no, sorry, that's already happened. So forget that. However, actually, you know what? No, do make me a D4, please, with advantage. Three. Perfect. Okay. So you see everyone pulling at you, and you come rising out of the mud, and it sort of splatters off with you as well. And you're looking around, you feel this sense of like everyone's here. And as you look across at Amros, he sort of smiles as you see this little empty packet in his hand, and this you feel this sort of grit, this kind of twinkly, sort of gritty, glittery stuff on your face, mixed in with the mud and everything else. But you suddenly feel lighter. You suddenly feel that what was sucking you down is having a hard time holding on to you as you slowly start to rise out of the mud. Not through anyone pulling now, and now that you guys you still got hold of the rope, you feel that the tension there is now lessened. as Bula somehow starts levitating and is now pulls herself another 3 feet out as she starts gliding up towards the surface. How far did I say you were? You came out 3 feet to the chest, so it's another 3 feet. So you're now only boot deep. You're probably only maybe 2 feet of mud on you. And you still seem to be sort of slowly rising as this sort of twinkly, glittery stuff that's sort of coating your face and arm just sort of kind of almost gives off a kind of a glow as you slowly start rising out of the mud. I guess it's back to Tisfin again.
Can I attempt to help pull Bula out the last foot?
You can indeed, yes. Go for it. Oh, yeah, you haven't moved, so that's fine. Yep, keep going. So it can be an advantage again if you want to with Galatia's help.
Is it alright if I skip this one?
Sure.
Yep. So just a strength. This set strength. Natural
It's completely
20.
There you go.
Excellent. So one more roll of your D4, please, Bula.
Wasn't she just 1 foot deep? No.
I think it was 2, but there you are. That perfect. Like so.
That's the last 2 feet.
So,
Thank you.
Tisfin, with the last effort, you managed, and again, it seems a little bit easier than it was before. You managed to get Bula out, and you see her glide effortlessly up to the top, stand for a moment on the surface of the mud, completely caked in this thick grey sludge, but standing there, now out of the mud.
Are you all right?
I'm not going to try and imitate it, but Bula's going to just be coughing and spluttering still and not quite fully recovered from being deep for so long. So all you're going to get back in response to "Are you alright?" is like a waved hand as she like coughs and splutters and chokes a little bit.
I'll take that as a no.
Perfect. Do you want to move, or you want to stay where you are, Tisfin?
Can I move into the same square that
Yes.
Amaros is in?
Yeah, I'll let you do that. That's fine. Yeah. So we'll just move you to the side or on top. That's fine. Can you please make me a wisdom saving throw, though, please?
With advantage because it's frozen?
I think it was only was it advantage on there? I can't remember. Was I giving advantage on the?
You did give advantage to Amaros.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Then yes, then that's right. Yeah, I couldn't remember if it was advantage on that or advantage on the. I guess you wouldn't get the sinking, would you, unless you were already on there. So yes, advantage then. Oh, and another natural 20 on there as well.
My
Lovely.
rolls are back.
Perfect. So yes, so you managed to stand on the ice effortlessly, and both of you are within jumping distance of or stepping distance of the nice soft soil that Kane and Moira find themselves on. So Galatea, what would you like to do?
Yeah, can I cast another Ray of Frost?
Yes, in that square. Yep,
There.
go for it. Make me an attack roll, please.
Sorry, I have about half an inch of space for my mouse.
That's fine.
to move around, so-
Yes. We'll say that that one hits. So, yeah, you hit and you see again a very thin layer of frost suddenly take hold of the this particular area of mud, and it looks definitely much more solid than it did previously.
Cool. Can I step around?
Yep.
That and then over there.
I'll.
Where's Bula?
Well, Bula is here. You can only really step one at a time. Across it. So, but you have advantage on your wisdom saving throw, though.
Oh, that's fair.
Yep, 23 is perfect. Yep, no worries at all. You step onto that section that you've just frosted, and it supports your weight, and you have no problems getting across. And I'm going to say Amaros just jumps across the last little bit, and he makes it to safety on this side. And Kane and Moira, is there anything else you would like to do on this turn?
Well, I guess I would reach out a paw to Tisfin. Just to make sure that he gets to the dry land, please.
Yep, that's fine. Yeah, he'll be able to get across no problem with your hand as well to get across on his turn.
I'm just doing what I was originally doing, which is as soon as people get within range, I grab them very tightly by the hand and pull them out of the sludge.
Perfect. Are you still holding on to the rope though currently for Bula?
Yeah, I'm like telling people, grab the damn rope.
Yeah, perfect. Okay, Bula, would you like to make your way out of the mud onto the little? There's a section of like frosted mud in front of you now that wasn't there previously.
Yes, please.
Great.
Which one can I go to?
This open one here.
Just that one.
Yeah,
okay.
that one there. Yeah. You could go to this one that Tisfin's on, but you're moving before Tisfin, so he's sort of on there at the moment. So it'll be easier as you go through, but you need to like move one square at a time through there, unfortunately. Perfect. Okay, so could you make me a wisdom saving throw, but with advantage this time? Yay, 19. Perfect.
Thank goodness.
So yeah, you get across and you stand on there, and you finally feel that the sense of like firmness under your feet, and this area is definitely not going to suck you in. So yeah, you're all good. Perfect. So let's just do Tisfin. You can move across, no problem, onto the safe land. Kane and Moira both help you across. Galatea. We'll say you can move, you and Bula can move. You've got 2 more rolls to do. So, in fact, do you just both want to so we can just skip ahead so you get to the safety? Do you guys just want to make me 2 rolls each with advantage for wisdom saves? And we'll just see if you can get across without any other incidents.
Yes, please.
That's fine, yeah, 12's okay. 12, yes, good. A good thing you had the pluses. And then 1 more roll. 19, yes, that's good. Bula, you are safely across the other side. Galatea. And 19, yes, perfect. So yes, you both make it safely to the other side. And you get across to the sandy, muddy area. Or not muddy area, dirty area of the cave. Very similar to what you were walking on previously before this hell bog tried to swallow you both, or all of you, in fact. And yes, so you are now out of initiative or roll order, and you made it all now safely to the other side. Congratulations! You made it through the mud. You made it. Well done.
Finally being on the other side, Bula is going to, whilst still, I imagine, dripping in mud, just absolutely, what's the word I'm looking for? She's going to drench Amaros in the process of just bear hugging him with such gratitude and relief.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
Saved.
I forgot to say actually. What you are still feeling that sense of like floatiness, like you feel like you know how you see people on the videos like of the moon landing and they're sort of like bouncing and like feel lighter than they're still going up and down, like, but they obviously don't weigh as much. You feel like that at the moment. You feel like those last few steps that you took coming off, for some reason you feel like lighter, as if like you could lift off the ground if you wanted to. But yes, you pick up Amaros and you give him a huge muddy hug.
Yeah.
I'll let him decide how he feels about that next time he comes back.
Yeah. He can decide how he feels about that later.
But yes.
Am I I'm last out, right?
Yeah, you're out. Yeah, you're out as well. I'll move you down here.
Am I still receiving help getting out?
Yeah, I'm sure the others are helping you. I'm sure, Kane, you will offer your hand.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, Galaxy is not allowed to
said-
go.
I said everyone. If that plant-looking guy came through, I'd be helping him out of the mud. I'm trying to get everyone out of there.
Perfect. Well, then you are.
Moira is just gonna round everyone up like, okay, this was enough. I am sick and tired of all the hacking mud. Promise me everybody stays at least 5 feet away from any and all future mud. I don't care if it's actually dangerous or if it's just dirt and mud. I don't care. We stay away.
Don't have to tell me twice.
I just want to go home.
I'm gonna. Kane's gonna kind of not push past everyone, but kind of just nudge his way through the crowd of people. And if I can, he's just gonna silently do a medicine check on Bula because she went under for a while there.
Yeah. Sure. Give me a medicine check then.
Do you need both hands?
Do I need both hands?
Not for. I could say you could do a kind of medical check with just one hand.
This is more an observation than.
Yeah, if you're just gonna.
I'm not lying her down and saying turn your head and cough.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah, you can do like more of an observation. Obs. 8.
A mouthful of mud.
So you look at Bula and you're like, yeah, you got mud on you. Medically, you'd probably suggest getting rid of the mud. You do, essentially coated in mud and definitely looking haggard from the experience. She's got these sort of dark rings under her eyes and probably exhausted from the effort that's gone into trying to get through this. If you've ever walked in sand or mud, trying to get through it takes so much effort, or snow, even deep snow, so much more effort than walking normally to do it that it can be exhausting. And she's been pulled multiple times down underneath this mud. So.
Yeah, he's. I don't know. I might. I don't really have a cape or a shawl or anything to cut off her, so I guess I'll just start getting handfuls of the mud and clothing it off of her and throwing it away.
Look, I can help. I think I'm gonna cast prestidigitation on her and clean her up.
Yeah. Okay, so you can just use that a couple of times, just sort of to get rid of the muck. She is thoroughly coated in this stuff, but as you are as well, you and Tisman especially, we're both up to sort of your waist, at least in the mud. So your trousers or whatever you're wearing, your lower half are thick with this sticky mud as well. So, but you can use your prestidigitation to kind of slowly get rid of it all as you go along.
On the plus side, a couple slices of cucumber and everyone's wrinkles are going to be gone by tomorrow with this wonderful mud pack.
Now, as you're doing this prestidigitation and cleaning off Bula, it's to begin with. You sort of think, oh, is this maybe it's the light? The light's not particularly good in here. You do have a light source on Kane's shield, and if you ask, I'm sure Amaris would relight his the orbs if you need to, and I would say that you may have dropped your torch, or may have put it out while you were going across, because you did get, in the mud. But there is light source here, and perhaps you ask Amros just to move the lights a little bit closer as you're cleaning, just so you can see properly to clean, Bula. As you're cleaning the mud off, you cast a spell, clean off the mud. It's still like grey, so you like cast it again. The mud must have like really like got into your skin, kind of thing. But you do it over and over again, and you thought perhaps it was the trick of the light. It's not very sort of like shadows here. Maybe it's making the colours sort of look less bright because you're inside this tunnel of thorns. But Bula's skin is grey. It's not green anymore, and her hair. It was dark green, and it is in places like the roots seem to be still having that darker green, but the hair on the surface, like her ponytail, like unless you sort of like as you go through it seems like grey, like she's got almost like she's got grey's hairs coming through, but way more than you'd expect for someone her age. She still has these yellow eyes, but her skin is now a sort of this ashen grey, very similar to the mud, and similar to the girl that you talked to.
I was about to say, this is exactly like the girl who's half grey.
And when you look down at your own trousers and garbs, I don't know what colour your outfit was, but it's an ashen grey colour as well.
I see. I'm gonna just start taking it off.
It doesn't go. Your clothes. It's almost as if the color has been leached out of them. Where the mud touched, there is just no color anymore.
How's my skin?
What kind of clothing are you wearing? Are you wearing like, are you got socks and shoes and trousers that are like tied up at the ankles, or have you got flowing kind of loose garbs?
Tight trousers, loose top.
I'd say that. How far did you go?
Zebra striped.
How far did you go into the mud? You went up to kind of like bust, did you? I think you went into like 4 foot as well, did you? 3 or 4 feet?
4 feet in. I was
4 feet.
5 feet. So.
Okay, so I would say your trousers and your boots and all the rest of it have protected your lower half from the grey. Your clothes are devoid of colour, but where your top was, perhaps if it's looser, and that mud may have got onto your skin where it is touched, there are grey marks now. So you can decide how much that has happened, but you have sections where there are grey stripes, perhaps, just where the mud has got in contact with your skin. And Tisvan, I was thinking about this earlier, you're already grey, aren't you?
Indeed I am.
Yeah, so we'll say for you don't really see much of a difference. Your armor, your clothing is a grey now as well if it was a different colour. For your skin itself, you don't really see much of a difference. Maybe it's a slightly different hue of grey, but you're pretty much similar to how you were before anyway.
Well, Tisvan's skin is more of an ashen white.
Okay, so maybe it's a little bit darker then.
Oh, I gained some colour. Well,
yes,
thank you.
So you might have slightly darker patches on you. Anything that may have been exposed to the mud.
All right.
But Bula, because you were completely submerged, I don't think you're wearing armor, are you?
I am not. No.
You're kind of like bare shoulders, all that sort of business. Midriff showing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She has like a very tight wrap around her chest.
Right.
But a majority of like her upper body is uncovered.
Yeah. So I'll say the same thing then. Although you're completely submerged, anything where the mud will have touched, which is everything that hasn't got like sealed by tight clothing, will be ashen grey now. And I say the roots of your hair will still have that dark green, but the hair on the surface that when it would have touched the mud will now be like an ashen grey. Like, so you've got like threads of grey through your hair.
Cool. That's fine.
That's cool.
Amaros and those who only maybe thunk in like a foot or something like that, their boots probably spared their skin, but their boots will obviously have lost the colour as well. But you find yourselves, yes, deeper into this briar tunnel system, and just beyond where you're standing now, you see that the path continues to split. Another tunnel, a wider tunnel leading off to the south, a smaller tunnel continuing round the corner, heading north, and the southern tunnel sort of continuing on to the east and west as well.
I'm not making any more decisions. This can't be on me.
Well, I don't know how good Kane's orienteering is. I mean, I don't know what it would be tied to. If it's tied to wisdom, hopefully good. But without metaing too hard, I would assume that we don't want to go. Because that will lead us to where the stench of death was.
I'm sorry, everyone, but I really need to go to bed.
Yes, I was gonna wrap things up now anyway, so that's fine.
Perhaps we leave the decision making of this particular scenario for next session then.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I will leave you then in this particular predicament to decide where your next move is in our next session, which hopefully a couple more weeks if everyone is available.
Can we not just rest, please? Finally.
I somehow feel like resting is going to make the situation worse.
No. I want to sleep. I want to have my spells back.
Me too.
Fly.
But...
I want to fly.
Well, I think we'll leave you pondering this this loss of color that you're all most of you are experiencing at the moment, as you spend another night, perhaps, if you're going to rest for longer than a short rest, or short rest another couple of hours, in this thick, seemingly unending tunnel system of briar, until we pick it up here again next time.
Dun dun dun.
But thank you very much, everyone, for playing. I hope you have enjoyed it? Question mark.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Well, at least you seem to.
I always enjoy the sessions, regardless.
I loved it.
And
Half of it. I spent half of it cursing everybody else's rolls.
you must have done, because the rolls, those rolls today, man, there were some low rolls.
Jesus.
It was just not Boola's day.
It was not
It's as I
Boola's
said
day.
in the session chat. You stole all our good rolls last session, Faye.
Me? You had a couple of natural 20s at the end there. That was good.
This is Boola's no good, very bad day.
I feel like after all of the turmoil we've been through, when we long rest, we should just hop straight up to level 4. Yeah.
Yes.
Wow. That depends
Maybe.
how you do, yeah. We'll see if you get out of this place first. I don't want you spending time thinking about complicated things like leveling up if you don't even get out.
No.
Combined groan.
But I'm sure that won't happen. I'm much more interested in finding out how you will continue this journey than trying to kill you off or anything like that. Silly thoughts.
I was hoping to get out of this place today, and then you throw this freaking mud thing.
Hey, you could have gone the other way. You had the option. You were thinking about it. I'm just it's just unfortunate that you ran into that area rather than walking. Because if you'd walked, you might have seen it. unfortunately, you're running past the Leaf Man. Oh well, it's just one of those things. Could have happened to anyone.
I'm sticking by my decisions. This is exactly what Galatea would do. Panic and run.
I think you're all going to come out of the other side of this all traumatized and like, we were only looking for a dog and this is what happened. What the hell are we going to do with just anything more complicated? But you know what? It's all good. It'll all be fine. You're all strong, confident adventurers. I have faith.
You know, before the session, Kane and Bula and I were talking, and we were like, Bula is absolutely gonna die this session, and panicking, and I was like, this is not gonna end well. This is
They
bad.
wouldn't do that to us.
Yeah, he wouldn't do that to us. No, she's gonna die. Oh, wait. So if she's gone.
No, it's all good. I mean, you were never in any real danger because you didn't take any damage. It's all fine.
I feel like there would have been suffocation damage had she been under much longer.
Well, there's only one way to find out.
I don't want to. Thank you for the offer.
Tisvan dives head first into the mud.
Bloop.
No!
But that was
What they say, we stay far away from India and all mud.
it was just unfortunate because you've been so careful when we've gone walking in the woods to like, I'm looking out for the grey mud and things. And I was like, okay, cool, that's fine, you know, going along. And then as you're progressing, there would have been some sort of like, you know, oh, give me a perception checks to look out for. But because you were all running and you were like focused on getting away, there wasn't actually time for that to happen. And I was just like, oh man, you've all been looking out for it all this time. So it sucks that you kind of ran into it now, but
you left us like 3 squares.
I made it a small area. Like it was only 15 feet. It was literally 3 squares and you were out of it again. And I thought it was a very ballsy move of Kane to just walk straight across with Moira in tow.
You know,
Was it, Faye, would you
Insane.
say that what I did was inspiring?
I think it was inspiring to other people. I think
we would have not gone across if we hadn't done this.
if it had been if Amorous had made the decisions that I'd made with the pixie dust, I think I would have given him inspiration. But seeing as he's not here and you did do the brave thing, running across, leading the party and showing them the way, I think I'll give you an inspiration for your move as well. And Amorous can't have his because I was playing him at that point. So
That doesn't mean you get to give yourself.
I have inspiration on my next roll of mud.
No, that's not how it works.
I hope Amorous doesn't mind me using that packet of pixie dust. I'm glad you were hesitant to use it for yourselves because I was then thinking, well, should I not? But I think in the circumstance with Bula going under, I think it was the only thing you had was that to use that could have helped and gave you advantage on a couple of rolls. So
I think if he had remembered it was there, he would have absolutely used it.
Yeah, either then or
anyway.
Yeah, he may have used it on himself to fly across. He may have used it on somebody else. But I thought in that moment, knowing that it was there and knowing that it could help in this situation because Bula was already 4 feet under the mud, I couldn't think of another way of him reacting to help in any, because he doesn't. I was looking through the spells, and no one has anything currently that would have really helped the situation. I didn't think about the ice thing until later when it was his turn, because I was thinking, oh, he has to do something. He can't just be standing there the whole time. And I was like, oh, maybe that would work. Maybe that, if he'd have suggested that, I would definitely have allowed him to do the same thing, make an attack. If it hits, then allow him to like solidify the ground a little bit, giving you advantage. But we were already a few people through at that point. So anyway, it's all good. It's all good experience, and don't be afraid to do that. If you have like a crazy idea, like I don't know how to get across this. Hey, I've got fireballs or something. Can I heat the mud up with my fire so that it to dry it out? I may say yes or no. But if you propose things outside the box that you want to try, please feel free to do that. Don't think that, in this case, running across or just going for it because that's the only direction I've got is the only option. Please, you could have, for instance, if someone had said, hey, I want to cut down part of the thorn wall and make a bridge out of it. That's cool. I can do that. We could work on it. So
we were all under, so we were just focused on trying to get up.
Oh, of course. But I'm just saying, when you're in a situation, don't be afraid to suggest things like that out of the box. Like completely different. You don't know. Can we go back and can we kill the leaf guy and use his body as a bridge to get across? Like anything like that. Just, this is a fantasy world with all sorts of things. You've got magic. You've got all sorts of things. Don't be afraid to suggest something that may be unconventional, because I'm here to, play into those things that you have as suggestions.
Faye loves it when you give him new ways for your character to die. Like that.
No, I'm not saying you die, but
I see.
just to help yourselves, but also to think about other situations and how you could use those abilities. Because there may be other things that you think are that could get you out of that. So, anyway, thank you all for playing tonight. Anyway, and those of you who are heading to bed now, thank you I appreciate you staying a little bit longer. I know we've gone over time normally, but it's been good, and I hope you've enjoyed it all.